Hello everyone, I'm Larry Huffman, and this is another edition of On Two Wheels. In this episode, we continue our look at the little brother of Supercross, Arena Cross. Join me now as I originally announced the 1987 Atlanta Arena Cross 250 racing. Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium was closed for renovation, and Supercross needed a home in the South for that year. Now, although no real Supercross superstars showed up, the racing proved to be fast and furiously different than that of its Supercross counterpart. On Two Wheels, the history of Supercross is brought to you in part by Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. By Moto Video Home Entertainment, the exclusive home video supplier of America's toughest race on home video, the Blackwater 100. And by your local Suzuki Pro Level RM motorcycle dealer. Suzuki, the ride you've been waiting for.
Welcome to the heart of the Old South. Here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for the 1987 Coors Arena Cross. My name is Greg Barbacovi, and along with Ben Cheatwood, we're going to be bringing you all the action indoors this year. People are already streaming in throughout the South to come right here and witness the first Arena Cross of the 1987 season. Here we're going to have Supercross racers go handlebar to handlebar instead of under the stars, under the lights. To begin with, let's get right to the action. We've got 4 heat races that are going to determine who the 8 riders are who will go bar to bar in the main event. Right now on the line, 396, Mike Jones, who comes to us from Pennsylvania. Number 44, alongside him is Fred Andrews. 27, on a Suzuki, Willie Surratt. 792, Rodney Sayers. 15, one of the favorites, Guy Cooper. And number 808 on the inside, Todd DeHoop, who comes all the way down from Michigan. Here we go, the start of Heat 1. First and second place is going to transfer to the third heat race and have an incredible advantage right now. Look at that. The favorite is out of the race in the very first corner. Guy Cooper, who did some incredible racing earlier this year, out. Dead last place right now. Let's go back to the top. Number 44, looks like a Honda rider. Fred Andrews, who comes to us from Salem, Ohio. Fred's a guy whose dad got him into motocross racing. His dad owns a Honda shop. Right now he's got himself about a 3 bike length lead. Behind him, we've got a Yamaha. Matter of fact, let's count them down as they finish their first full lap and get ready to go here in lap number 2. Again, your leader, Fred Andrews, Honda rider. Behind him in second place on a Yamaha, that looks like Mike Jones out of Pennsylvania, 21 years old. Back a little bit further, well, we've got a total of 8 riders out there right now. That's Suzuki man, Willie Surratt. Back to first and second place. The thing you're going to notice about Arena Cross is that the technical obstacles right here are going to make it very difficult to pass. Arena Cross historically has been a place where passing is very difficult to do. Here in Atlanta, though, I was talking with Ross Peterson before the race. He said that there are more than a number of lines coming out of each corner. There, you saw Willie Surratt on the Suzuki go to the outside and slingshot his way back in. Right now, he's less than a bike length behind Pennsylvania rider Mike Jones. Mike runs national and international Arena Cross events. I believe he was at Paris at the end of last year, racing with the likes of David Bailey and Ricky Johnson. Right now, number 44, Honda man Fred Andrews, and behind him on the Yamaha, those guys look tight. Here from the ground level, you can see that there is a great deal of room for passing. There, the Yamaha on the inside almost got nosed out by Surratt. You gotta remember, Willie Surratt is supported by the Suzuki factory. He's got a box van, even as we speak, sitting outside the Omni right now. His own mechanic, all the parts he could ask for from Suzuki. Currently, here in the first heat race, third place. So Andrews is your leader. Jones in second place. Wild Willie, who came here all the way from Southern California, trying to go over the whoop-de-doos right now, in third. Now at the conclusion of this heat race, first and second are going to transfer to heat number 4, and what's this? Andrews bails into the bales. Hay bales, of course, make it a little bit safer when guys do go down. Fred, it looked like his foot peg may have clipped one of them. So we got a brand new leader. The guy who is a real good friend of Jeff Hicks, who we'll be seeing a little bit later on. Mike Jones is his name, comes from Cabot, Pennsylvania. I think I said a little earlier, he's 21 years old. He's got a little bit of support coming from the Yamaha factory. More importantly, though, gear, racewear, Spectral oil, and a number of other people. He's currently the man in front, and a decent-sized gap between he and Willie Surratt, the Suzuki rider in second place. Mike's had a pretty decent year. He says he's too big to be riding 125s, and that's the reason why he's scoring right here on a 250. There, let's go to our runner-up, number 27, from Southern California, Wild Willie Surratt. This guy started racing on mini cycles at Indian Dunes. Right now he's on a big 250 bore machine, one of the graduates of the 125 Supercross field. Back to number 808. This is the man who's currently in third place, Todd DeHoop. Todd had quite a bit of traveling to do before he got here to the Omni. Came all the way down from Michigan. Runs in the 125 Nationals, or at least as many of them as he can. As basically a privateer rider, expenses are tough for him to make. So as a result, Todd cannot make every 125 National. He was able to make it here, though, to the 250 Arena Cross at Atlanta, Georgia. Now let's take a look at number 15, Guy Cooper. I said at the top of the show that Guy was one of the favorites in this race. Reason why? He has a history of doing well at Supercross events, especially when it comes to jumping. He tours the country, normally in the 125 National circuit, with his wife Jamie. Jamie is biggest supporter. You may see her alongside of the track carrying a pit board to let Guy know how he's doing. Well, now it's time for the checkered flag. The end of heat number 1, and there we go. Number 396, a little bit of a surprise, but from Cabot, Pennsylvania, Mike Jones on a Yamaha storms to the first moto win. Second place, Willie Surratt, Todd DeHoop, Guy Cooper, Fred Andrews, and Rusty Sayers round out the field for the first heat. We've got 3 more heats to go before the main, as right now you get a good look at number 27, Willie Surratt. On the starting line, number 245, Joseph Rogers from Georgia. 33, that's a guy to watch, Jeff Hicks, the little buddy of Bob Hurricane Hanna. Number 72, after that, that's Doug Hoover. 52, right alongside, another Suzuki, Jeff Fritz, who came to us from Florida. Number 25, Canadian national champ Ross Peterson. If I had to pick somebody, I'd say Peterson's the guy to watch out for. Let's see what happens here. That's Ross on the inside. Just in front of him, we got a Suzuki that's up in the top spot right now. That's Jeff Fritz, number 52. Ross on the outside over the finish line. Look at that. Side by side, he's got the inside line. And he's got the lead. No, he doesn't. Suzuki jams back out in front. Neck and neck here, halfway through the first lap of the race, and these two guys battling back and forth just like two dogs over a piece of steak. Peterson almost blows it completely as his engine nearly died in that tight corner right there. Suzuki, Jeff Friss, still in the lead. Second place, we'll be looking back at Ross Peterson, but right now, let's check out number 52. The man from Florida has got a support ride with Suzuki, and over Ross, he's got, boy, not much of a lead at all. You saw the way that Ross was able to stay on the gas of his Yamaha all the way up to the corner. I'll tell you a little bit of history about Mr. Peterson. Ross is the Canadian national champion in the 125, 250, 500, and Supercross classes. He sweeps them all up north. Coming down here to Atlanta, Georgia for the Arena Cross, that means that Ross has got an incredible amount of experience on incredibly tight tracks, just like the one we've got right here. So when push comes to shove, that's where I would put my money on number 25. Nonetheless, Suzuki rider Fritz has still got the lead as we get ready to approach the halfway point of the race. Fritz took himself kind of a wild hairball inside line there. You saw the way his front end kind of bounced up and down through those whoops. There on the outside, Peterson, looking for a place to pass, took that outside berm, just as he did right there. This time it almost cost him. Holy smokes, Jeff Hicks, number 33, Hannah's little buddy, on the Honda, came up real tight and very nearly took Ross's position away from him. I was mentioning earlier that with Arena Cross indoors, there's not as much room to build a track. But as you can see, the wide course here does offer ample opportunity for guys to take different lines, different courses through the same turn so that they can try and go for the jugular and try and storm into the number 1 spot. Close-up on the Suzuki rider, number 52, still no change here. From Florida, Jeff Fritz. Only 2.5 bike lengths behind is Peterson. Let's watch and see what happens with the lines here. Jeff on the inside, Peterson on the... No, Peterson stays on the inside there too. Instead of going to the outside berm, he played a little game of follow the leader. There you can see how the two riders chose different paths through the same corner. Ross will do that when he's ready to pass, and there! Friss on the inside kills his engine. Ross that time on the inside too was able to squeeze in between him and the hay bales and now moves into first place. So let's go over our top 3 racers. Right now, number 25 on a Yamaha, Ross Peterson from Canada in the lead. 33 in second place on a Honda is Jeff Hicks. Good close-up of our leader. As I said before, this guy dominates racing in Canada, and with all of the Supercross experience and Arena Cross attention he's got up north, he's got to be the favorite there. You saw a great pass. Number 52, Fritz, got by Hicks again. Hicks had moved into second place when Fritz went into the hay bales, but now Jeff comes back, storms back into second place. There, Hicks on the Honda dove to the outside line to try and kiss that berm and come out hard back into the number 2 slot. It didn't work. There again, tries a different line, different throttle control. There, that's how different lines can work for you. Jeff on that outside berm was able to hold on to the throttle longer, coming out of it stronger with more traction, back in second place. Suzuki rider and the early leader, Jeff Fritz, in third. The white flag is out now. We got one lap left to go. First and second place, number 25 on the Yamaha right there. And then, of course, the Honda rider back a little bit further, Mr. Hicks. So Peterson about ready to storm to heat number 2 victory here as we are still at the Arena Cross at the Omni. Checkered flag out. Boy, look at him swap that rear end way over to the side. Talk about bike control. Ross Pedersen, number 25, your winner. Jeff Hicks, Jeff Friss, and Doug Hoover round out the top 4 for the second heat here at the Omni in Atlanta. Next up, we're going to go to heat number 3. Now this is where the winner and the runner-up from the first heat is going to have to go up against the guys who didn't do so well in the second heat. Sounds confusing probably, so here's a graphic to show you exactly how it works. First and second place from heat 1 and third through 6th through heat 2 will come up next in the third heat. After that, we'll go to heat number 4, and the guys in the fourth heat, the inverse of what we just described. The winners of heat 2 and the runners-up from heat 1. That's what we got coming up next. Of course, it all funnels down to the top 8 in the main event. 962, Mike Crawford. He's on the starting line from South Carolina. There's number 72 there, Doug Hoover. He comes from Ontario, Canada. Number 27, Willie Surratt. Didn't do so well in his race. He'd like to do better here. Number 52, Jeff Friss alongside. 396, right after that, and we're ready to go. Mike Jones. Can he do it again? The Yamaha rider on the inside. No, it looks like he gets shut off. Grabbed himself a little bit more space as they came around the corner, and there he is, back in the lead. Great, exciting start here indoors at the Omni in Atlanta. Once again, up on top, Mike Jones, number 396 from Carlet, Pennsylvania. Behind him, you got a couple of Suzukis. Number 52, Jeff Fritz, who's going to try and stay away from the hay bales this time, and his teammate, number 27, Willie Surratt. A little bit of a gap between second and third place right now. I tell you, Willie, who's back in third, does not have a history of getting great starts. I can recall plenty of times when he was not able to do that well. Here, up in the lead, though, Fritz is really going all out to try and take over first. Wants the inside line there, doesn't quite pull it off. Yamaha rider Jones noses him out. It looked like Jones was nursing one of his feet during that first qualifier. We'll try and ask him about that a little bit later. I think we mentioned earlier, Jones, he's got a history of running at national and international arena cross races, so he does have experience here on this tight kind of track. You got to realize, without the tight straightaways, these guys rarely get higher than 4th gear. 5th and 6th don't do them any good. These are big 250cc machines, and on this tight track where lap times are running an amazing 24 seconds, it's low-end power, and the guy who can get it quickest to the power band is going to end up with the win. There's your top 3 riders going over the Coors finish line right now. Not much change to report here in the first half of heat number 3. Now the top 4 riders from this race are going to transfer into the main, and that's where all the money will be awarded. Now keep in mind that after tonight's race is done, we're going to switch gears and fast forward to tomorrow night's race. That is where we're going to have these guys do it all again. Right now, time to recap the leaders. 396, right now looking comfortable as he gears himself up for the main event by checking out a couple of different lines there. That's 396, Mike Jones. Can he protect himself from the rider in second place? Number 52, Jeff Fritz, so far has not eaten any hay bales this race, and that's good. As a matter of fact, Fritz came real strong out of that straightaway there, up and over the finish line. Back in third place, wild Willie Surratt, number 27. See the way that Willie took that inside line there, trying to gain a little bit of time on Jeff, the current runner-up. Didn't work. Fritz trying to do the same thing on the Yamaha leader, and there you saw incredible gear selection. Fritz came out on the pipe and took the lead for just a few moments. The Yamaha rider comes back. Jones, he doesn't want to give it up yet, and Surratt is back in third saying, hey guys, I'm ready to take advantage of any mistake that gets made. Suzuki side by side over the finish line. Look at that rear end hop. The suspension right here is incredible that these two guys have got underneath their seats there. And right now, tight on the inside, Willie Surratt storms into the number 2 spot. Willie is great at passing, and indeed he better be. Remember, Willie Surratt is not known for his start, so that means he frequently has to come from behind. So there you've got a good overall look at our top 3 riders right now as they go over the finish line. No flags yet, but the way it looks, Surratt on the outside was looking to go around the berm to try and move into the lead. Jones said, I'm going to block past you and drift to the outside a bit more. Frizz, number 52, getting back up. Remember, he's got to finish in one of the top 4 spots, and he can't get the bike fired back up. Even though the bike's warmed up, sometimes a hot engine is difficult to start, and Jeff has got to be bummed by that terrible, terrible mistake. So, back on top of the pecking order. Yamaha still with the lead. Mr. Cucumber there. That's as cool as Mike Jones is going to be. Number 396, just coasting right now with a buku lead between first and second place. Checkered flag is out, and he'll go ahead and guarantee himself a hot starting position. Willie Surratt back up into second for the race. Hoover third. Jeff Frizz was able to recover and finish in fourth place. Let's go to the starting line. For the fourth heat, 33 and 15, the first two, Jeff Hicks and Guy Cooper. 792 on the line, that's Rusty Sayers. There's number 44, right alongside him, Fred Andrews. And way over on the other side, you got number 808, Todd DeHoop, who came down from Michigan. We've talked about all these guys once before. Let's see if Fred Andrews can come up with anything this time. You know, one thing I'm amazed about, Yamaha again with the hole shot, and Andrews again on the outside hay bales. Fred must be hungry. Either that, I guess he wants to eat a cow. He keeps sticking his helmet and visor into the hay bales. Yamahas have really looked impressive here on this short arena cross course at the Omni in Atlanta. My name is Greg Barbacovi. A little bit later on, we'll be talking with Ben Cheatwood down on the floor. But right now, you're taking a look at first and second place in the final heat race of the night. Yamaha on top. That, of course, the kid from Hudsonville, Michigan, Todd DeHoop, number 808. In second place, the little buddy of Buckwheat, Jeff Hicks, number 33, initially from Ohio, but right now from El Toro, California. There you can get a good floor-eye view of the gap between first and second place. Hicks is doing okay in that number 2 spot. Remember, as long as he finishes in one of the top 4 positions, he'll be able to transfer to the main, where all of that Coors cash is going to be awarded. Back a little bit further, well, let's check out. Number 44, looks like the man. That's Fred Andrews from Salem, Ohio. Fred came down. Fred currently running in third place. Again, he is in a qualifying position. Here in this tight arena cross format, first, second, third, and fourth gear selection, incredibly important. I tell you don't need an awful lot of top end when you're talking with the tight track confines that we have right here. Berm positioning, you gotta have it. Otherwise, you end up sucking on hay, and we've seen more than a couple of examples of that. There's number 792, that's Rusty Sayers out of Georgia. He's being lapped right now. 33 in second place is Jeff Hicks, the Honda rider. Hicks has really gotten a great boost from Hanna. Bob kind of took him under his wing early on in his career, allows him to practice up at his course in Lancaster, California whenever possible, put him into his house so that he wouldn't have to pay rent, sponsored him with Hanna Racing products. As a matter of fact, he's got a couple of other sponsors too, so it's not as if Bob is the only guy giving him a free ride. Smith Goggles, Answer Products, and Pro Circuit, a respected shop in Southern California, all support Mr. Hicks. Back to our leader, number 808. Todd DeHoop would love to have that kind of support. Todd runs the 125 national races during the season. About his best finish this year, I think, was a 10th in Southwick. Right now, his best finish looks like it may be a first place at the Omni Arena Cross in Atlanta. There, again, you see the pit board going out. Hicks in second place. What's this? Number 25, Ross Peterson, finally waking up. We were talking earlier. I thought that Ross would be one of the favorites here, but he has had trouble breaking out of the pack here in Atlanta. Now he's in third place, trying to move into second there on that outside berm. There is a great line to pass. Ross, by staying on that outside line, moved into second place, and I gotta believe that was intentional, what he did to number 33, Hicks there. He slowed down, Hicks had to slow down, and then number 44, Andrews, kissed the side of Hicks' bike. Hicks still trying to pick it up. He's still got to start it. There he goes. Now back into the race. White flag is out. We're just about ready to finish up this event. Number 808, DeHoop, up on top. Nobody's been able to touch him. All the excitement is behind the leader. So as this race concludes, we'll be ready to move towards the main event here in Atlanta. Second place, number 25. There's the guy who had to fight his way through the pack. From Canada, Ross Peterson, support ride from Yamaha. Just moments away from the finish of this race now. Fred Andrews, number 44, looks like he's in a qualifying position. Not that close to Ross, though, as we follow Peterson around a real tight turn. Tell you, those berms right there, all important. Otherwise, these guys could end up kissing those rear tires off the hot dog vendor up in the 5th row. Number 44, Fred Andrews, we mentioned earlier, in third place. He came down to us here in Atlanta from Ohio. Back to our leader, and as you can see, his mechanic there knows that the checkered flag is waiting for him. Here we have it. The overnight race may be far from over, but right now, heat racing is concluded. Main event is next, and congratulations to Todd DeHoop, number 808, who's going to have himself a hot starting position in the main. Ross Pedersen, the Cannon from Canada, takes second place. Remember, the top 4 riders all transfer to the main. Right now, as they go funneling off the track, they don't have much time to rest. The main event with the 8 fastest riders of the night coming up next here in Atlanta. What have they got to look forward to? A gorgeous trophy girl. Gotta tell you folks, Miss Coors, let's see if we can get a picture of her. There she is, Randy Lane. Let's go to the starting line. It's main event time. Number 15 and 52, that's Guy Cooper and Jeff Fritz. 72 on the starting line, Doug Hoover. 27, Wild Willie Surratt. 25, Rollerball, Ross Peterson. 396, right alongside him, that happens to be Mike Jones. 808, that's Todd DeHoop. All these guys right here gunning for the Bucks. The sign is sideways. Here we go. The start of the 250 main event here at the 1987 Coors Atlanta Arena Cross. Again, Yamaha spanking the Hondas out here as they've got first, second, and third place coming around the first corner. Number 808, Todd DeHoop, the kid who came down from Michigan. He loved the race out at Southwick. Right now, he loves the race here in Atlanta as he's got the lead, but right alongside him, Mike Jones, who's won once and wants to do it again. Again, Yamaha looking incredible out here in this tight confines here at the Omni. 25, Ross Rollerball is back just a little bit further as, boy, Larry Griffiths and the entire gang of Yamaha have got to have big grins on their faces right now. The first non-Yamaha back in 4th place looks like number 27, Wild Willie Surratt on the Suzuki, breaking up that red and white domination. There, you got a little bit of banging going on. Rollerball Peterson, tell you, he is famous for being an aggressive rider, and right now he's going to have to be aggressive to come rolling through the pack here. Coors is awarding quite a bit of money to Supercross racers this year. If you've watched any of the other moto videos that we have out, you know quite a bit about the Coors Cup. The Coors Cup not in effect here, but they did contribute a great deal to prize money, and our thanks to the gang at Coors and at Coors Light. 25, Pedersen is starting to run out of time as far as his pursuit for the lead goes. The gap between first and second place looks like about a second and a half. Doesn't sound like much, but when an entire lap only takes 24 seconds, that's a football field and a half. There's Willie Surratt, Suzuki rider, in 3rd place, number 27. Willie has really got to be on the ball this season. Some people have doubted his abilities on the Suzuki. A win here at the Arena Cross would silence quite a few of his critics. Let's see if the youngster from Southern California can use these last couple laps to move up a little bit. Hey, Rollerball is really tightening it up. Yamaha, 1st and 2nd place. Ross almost nailed him there on the inside. They're trying to lap a slower rider right now. Let's see whether or not that makes a difference. Jones, remember, on a Yamaha. So is Ross. Ross passes him. And Ross passed him with that lapped rider right in front. There, you can see how Ross had to pedal his way through. I tell you, Rollerball will do anything that it takes to go ahead and make the main event win right here. He and Mike Healy had a great battle a couple years ago at the Anaheim Supercross race. Pedersen ended up just out-muscling Healy after they both went down on the last lap. You saw another example of it just a few moments ago here in Atlanta. So number 25, the Canadian, 125, 250, 500, and Supercross national champion, Ross Rollerball Peterson, 2nd place. There we got the camera tight in on him right there. Trying to pass the lap rider, that's Mike Jones, number 396. He is vulnerable now to Surratt. Surratt, number 27, who has not yet seen his 21st birthday, by the way, has closed up a little bit of ground. That Honda rider who's about to be lapped, looking back over his shoulder, he knows Surratt is there. Let's hope he lets him by. Well, it's about time for the man from Medicine Hat to take the win. Checkered flag will be coming out just as soon as Ross Pedersen comes around the finish line. There we have it. So Ross goes ahead and takes the win. Number 25. 2nd place, oops, remember that's Mike Jones, number 396. Willie Surratt will take the 3rd place trophy. Here we are, Saturday night, round 2 of Arena Cross here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Once again, Greg Barbacovi, you just saw Ben Cheatwood. Now let's go to heat number 1. 962, Mike Crawford, ready to roll. Alongside him, number 33, that's Jeff Hicks. 245, Joseph Rogers. 52 from last night, Jeff Fritz. Number 25 on the end, the guy we were just talking about, Ross Rollerball Peterson. Now right alongside Ross, that's where you got number 72, remember. Another guy who comes from Canada, he comes from Ontario, Doug Hoover. Now on the inside, look at that, Hoover was really able to jam on it. Peterson on the inside, you saw that red and white Yamaha got a little hung up on the bales, but his counterpart from the Great White North ends up with the lead. So 72, Hoover on top. Boy, Canadians sure have warmed up to the Old South here in Atlanta, haven't they? Ross taking home all the bacon the first night out, and here, starting off the second night, his buddy has got himself the lead. In second place, number 33, that looks like Jeff Hicks. Jeff, remember, he was out here as well last night. Buckwheat's little buddy currently in the number 2 slot as we're in the first of 4 heat races that will lead up to the main event. By the way, those boards that you see those guys hanging out over the track right there, those are instructions from their mechanics, telling the riders who's behind them, or perhaps how much gas they have left, or any number of bits of information that they might find helpful. Peterson on the Yamaha, again railing that outside berm, looking for a place to pass. On the Honda, your leader, both these guys from Canada, we gotta say that. Number 72, Doug Hoover. So we got a Canadian mounted man here, no matter who comes on top between these two guys. On the inside, again, great line selection by Peterson, who's used that selection to move up through the pack incredibly here after he killed his engine, after that biff that he had with Hicks a couple laps ago. There, on the inside, trying to slip his tire underneath. He does. He didn't quite have the lead. But then when they came around the corner, he put his tire back in front of number 72. Hoover dropped down into second. Hoover cemented his own fate right there when he lost his balance, ended up jamming way on over into the hay bales and the banners, and so as a result of that, a brand new leader. Rollerball back up on top here in the first heat race. With all this wham bam thank you ma'am action, just imagine what's going to happen when we get the 8 fastest guys down to the main event. A great setup for a super night of racing, we hope here. It's Saturday night at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Greg Barbakovi and Ben Cheatwood bringing you moto video action as Yamaha-mounted Ross Peterson gets the white flag. Lapping a slower rider here, that's Joseph Rogers, comes to us from right here in Georgia. 1 lap left to go. All Ross has to do is stay on top of 2 wheels this last time to maintain the win. There's number 33, Jeff Hicks. Remember, we saw Jeff with his problems earlier. Jeff looks back over his shoulder, sees that it's Ross. He hasn't pulled over to the side yet. Kind of interesting. You would think that Hicks would pull over immediately since Hicks is not on the same lap, but that did not happen. At any rate, Ross takes the win. Hoover scores second place. Jeff Hicks, number 33, goes ahead and puts down third. That's heat number 1. Right now, you can see number 15, that's Guy Cooper, getting a little help from his wife there on the starting line. Number 44, starting alongside, is Fred Andrews. 808, Todd DeHoop. Talked a lot about him on Friday night. 396, the almost hero, Mike Jones. Number 27, on the end, Wild Willie Surratt. That 30 means 30 seconds. When the board goes sideways, the gate could drop at any time. Here we have the start of the second heat race. You saw the way that Willie Surratt backed off the throttle. He got shut off there on the starting line. So the Suzuki's in dead last. Guess who's in front? Looks like Mike Jones down from Pennsylvania. That's the position he was in more often than not during the first night of racing. And with Surratt, once again, a bad start means the Suzuki pilot's going to have to fight his way through the pack to get up to the lead. So 396, Jones in first place. Number 44 in second, Fred Andrews, who comes to us from Salem, Ohio. Fred Andrews, he's been enjoying more than a little bit of Supercross success here during the 1987 season. Some big things may be coming from that resident of Ohio before too much longer. It's the kind of name you should keep an eye on. The gap between first and second place, not that big. Look at this, number 15, finally enjoying a little bit of success is Guy Cooper. That's the guy in third in the red jersey. Watch him. He had plenty of bad luck on Friday night. Tonight here, Saturday, that guy is overdue for a little bit of success. There you can see his red jersey. Right now, trying to plug on the inside, trying to take second place away. Will it happen? Perhaps here in this tight corner. Andrews, number 44. No, it doesn't happen. Number 15, Guy Cooper. Yes, there it does. Finally, in the hairpin turn after that, Cooper comes and takes over second place. Andrews held him off through the one corner, but through the whoop-de-doo section, Fred did not have as good a line as Guy did. Cooper moves into second place. Guy Cooper from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Boy, we're going to expect some great things from him. A privateer on the Supercross circuit there. What an amazing pass through the whoop-de-doos. Holy smokes, Mike Jones didn't know what hit him. He came on quicker than a tornado in the flatlands of Oklahoma. I got to tell you that. Number 15, Honda-mounted Guy Cooper, finally shedding the bad luck that he had on Friday night and moving into a lead here in the second heat race for Saturday night's event. Guy is a privateer out on the circuit. He does not have Honda factory sponsorship. He pays his own bills. pays for his own meals. His mechanic, his wife. The two of them, they travel throughout the country competing in nationals, Supercross, and right here in Atlanta in arena cross events. It's not easy, but I gotta tell you, there's no time for him to mess around with other women. They're together all the time. Look at that, down, Yamaha rider Jones, Mike number 396, not in too bad a shape. Jones in the third position there, that'll still make him eligible for the main event. We'll just wait and see what happens by the time the checkered flag comes down. Back to our leader, Honda rider 15, Guy Cooper. I tell you, I like Guy a lot. I've interviewed him at many races throughout the Supercross and National Circuit. One of the nicest guys you could ever happen to meet. And as I said, a privateer, works out of the back of his van on the circuit. Number 44, second place, Fred Andrews. Fred, now there's kind of a curious story. Fred Andrews is somebody that many people do not know anything about. His dad owns a Honda shop. Ended up being real good buddies with Jeff Hicks. At any rate, in second place, that's Andrews, the leader there, number 15. You saw his wife running out of the way with a pit board just a minute ago. He was just playing with her a little bit as we get closer and closer to the white flag here in heat number 2. Just as it was on Friday night, we're going to have 4 heat races and then jam into an action-packed main event as storming out of the corner, number 15 comes rolling out. There aren't too many people who come from Oklahoma that make the national circuit. Guy Cooper wants to change that. If he does well on the circuit this year, a factory ride may finally be waiting for him. There's the white flag. Little bit of a sideways cross-up as he goes over the finish line there. One more lap and he'll be able to choose his starting position in the third heat race here at the Omni in Atlanta. 396, boy, Jones had his share of problems during this heat race. Here he's about to be lapped. Very nice gentlemanly move. He pulls over to the side, doesn't get in Cooper's way at all. Number 15, Guy Cooper, up and over the finish line. A one-handed clicker. Way to go, Guy. Fred Andrews finishes in second place. Willie Surratt third. Todd DeHoop fourth. Mike Jones in fifth place. So that's the second heat. There you have, number 396, Mike Jones. Let's hope he can stay on 2 wheels this time. Number 25, Rollerball, Ross Peterson, the guy who won last night. Number 72, alongside him, that's Doug Hoover. Number 27 has had very little luck tonight. Willie Surratt has come close, but no cigar so far. Number 808, Todd DeHoop, again down from Michigan. Now the motivation for doing well here in heat number 3 is that the better your finish, the earlier you get to pick your starting position in the main event. And look at that, DeHoop starts on the inside, wings his way completely to the outside berm, spreading the pack out. He's got nothing left but wide open spaces. He's in the lead. Behind him, in second place, the guy who had some trouble so far tonight, Mike Jones. Remember, the 21-year-old from Pennsylvania was lapped. And look at this, that's Rollerball and number 72, who almost went down with him, Doug Hoover. The two guys from Canada at the back of the pack right now at the start here of the third heat race. They don't have that much time to come back. And remember, the better their finish here in this heat race, the better their starting position will be in the main event. Let's take a look at our leader. After all the turmoil in that last corner, we've got number 396, Mike Jones, now out in front. Number 27 in second place, Willie Surratt. And Willie, I don't believe, has done better than second at any time tonight. Willie has yet to find the winner's circle for even a heat race. We're expecting a lot more from this Suzuki rider. Let's see what happens here in race number 3, the third heat event. Look at that, Rollerball has moved back up into 4th place already. Ross, again, the Canadian national champ in every single class imaginable, pounding down hard on the rear tire of Surratt. There he is, right now moving into 3rd place. Surratt, number 27. This guy started off on mini-cycles. Made that very difficult transition from minis to 125s by cruising in the 125 Supercross support class that may very well have come to your town. After getting a little bit of experience on the 125 and after growing a couple of inches, Willie found it necessary to transfer up to the big 250 class, and there it looked like a guy from Laughlin on a tricycle. It didn't look like Willie had any reason at all to pull over onto the side there. Apparently, though, he lost some traction someplace. Number 27, as you can see, biff. Surratt out of Lancaster drops more than a couple of positions. Looked like he was nursing his left arm there for a minute. We'll try and check on that for you before the end of the race. Back to the leaders right now. 396 from Cabot, Pennsylvania. Hurt himself a little bit yesterday. He said he'd be ready to race again tonight, though. Mike Jones, and let's see whether or not they spell his name right when he does so out here tonight. Coors helping to put on the race here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and the gap between 1st and 2nd place is almost 4 seconds. That's an incredible amount of time when you're talking about lap times that are only 24 seconds in their entirety. Ross Peterson, 25, Yamaha mounted. We've told you a bunch of stories about rollerball from Canada, and once again here, come from behind is what Ross is going to have to do if he wants the best starting position for the main event. You can see him using those outside berms quite a bit. Number 25 used those outside berms to his advantage in Friday night's race when he had to pass Friss for the lead. He's going to have to do that again here. There's a good look at number 27, Surratt. Looks like Willie's just kind of kicking back and taking it easy here. There he is, completely coming off the track. Surratt is not even going to finish the race, and that may very well keep him out of the main event. We'll have to get a ruling from the officials, though, on that. So Surratt, completely out of the story right now. So 396, Jones on top. Rollerball in second place, right here on your camera. See how hard he landed off of that jump right there? Jones, the tip of his chin very nearly went across the crossbar pad on the front of his Yamaha. It's one of the things these guys have got to worry about, and that you might need to worry about too. If you're not wearing a full face helmet, ask yourself a question. Just how much are your lower teeth worth? Landing on the floor of the Omni here after shooting up into the sky and coming back down, a terrific jolt has to be absorbed by the arms of these racers. If that jolt isn't absorbed by the arms, that means your head comes snapping down onto the handlebars. We've seen some examples of that already in this tough, demanding arena cross schedule that we have here. 396. Mike Jones. Can't say much more about the man in red and white. We're just waiting for the checkered flag, and there it is, sailing through the air with the greatest of ease. Ross nails down second place, followed by Todd DeHoop, the man who had the hole shut earlier, and Doug Hoover, number 73 in fourth. Well, we have one more heat race before the main event. There's number 44. We've talked a lot about Fred Andrews. 962, Mike Crawford. Number 33, back out again, Jeff Hicks. 245, Joseph Rogers. Number 15, Guy Cooper with his wife right alongside. Sure hope that she's able to bring him some good luck. Finally, number 52, Jeff Friss. Friss is on the inside. Let's see how that Suzuki does. He breaks the Yamaha domination as everybody else tangles a little bit and goes to the outside bales. Way to go, Jeff. So Friss, out of Florida, that means he's got a relatively short drive home tonight, thank goodness. Ends up in the top spot here. This is the final heat race before we go to the main event. The main is where all the money and trophies are awarded. Right here, the winner of this heat race is going to end up with a good starting position. He will get to choose his spot on the starting gate before anybody else. And on a tight arena cross course, choosing that starting position is very, very important. Right now, we're about 2.5, 3 laps away from the end of the race. And then after that, it's main event time. These guys, though, still battling for starting position here in the final heat race of the Saturday night program. Your leader? Well, you can see him out there on a Suzuki, Jeff Friss. Second place right now, though, is where the action is happening. Question is number 44, Fred Andrews, going to be able to shake the bad luck that he's had almost all weekend out here and move into the number 2 slot? It's going to make a big difference as far as starting line positioning goes. Let's see, we're about due for a white flag coming out here right now, and there it is. At the Coors finish line, the white flag is out. Number 52, Friss, still on top, and I can't see where anything's going to change between now and the main event. Keep in mind that yesterday in the main event, Friss was only able to finish in 8th place. Not an incredible showing from somebody who's been on the circuit for quite a while. So here, Jeff is going to really have his work cut out for him as far as the Saturday night program goes. Checkered flag this time. There you go. Jeff Friss, number 52, doing a stylish one-hander. Hicks takes second place. Fred Andrews takes third. Well, time to prepare for the main event. Let's go to the starting line. 245 and 27 alongside each other. Way to go, Joe Rogers. Good try. We'll have him in the main event. After that, we got number 15. That is Guy Cooper. Number 33, the camera focuses on right there. Jeff Hicks putting his goggles on. Number 72, Doug Hoover from Canada. 44 alongside him, Fred Andrews. 25, the winner from Friday night. That's Rollerball. 396, Mike Jones. Boy, you gotta figure he's out for revenge, and he's right next to Ross on the line. Finally, on the inside, number 52, Jeff Friss. Friss was able to take the lead in heat number 4 from that inside starting line here. Looks like Rollerball is going to get out there in front of him. No, that's Mike Jones on the Yamaha on the inside. A Honda's alongside him on the outside. Will he take the lead away from him? They're side by side. Jones and number 44, Fred Andrews. Jones is going to end up on top. And Guy Cooper comes out of right field to take over second place. What an amazing start to the main event here on Saturday night. After this, it's all over. These guys are going to pack it into their vans and pickup trucks and head back home. So let's talk about our early leaders. Mike Jones, number 396, Yamaha, up on top. There he is over the Coors finish line. And as we said, Yamahas have improved very well here. Stark contrast to what they've been doing during the '87 season in Supercross races. Yamahas like these tight courses. Number 15, Guy Cooper, Stillwater, Oklahoma resident, in second place with his pretty wife Jamie holding the pit board alongside of the track. Cooper way on the outside there, very nearly went up into the second row. See the way his foot peg almost brushed into the hay bale, and now he comes back real strong. He'll be on the outside line. He'll stay on the throttle longer, but great block pass on the part of Mike Jones. If Jones would have held that inside line where he started the turn, there's a good chance that Cooper would have throttled right by him. Instead, Jones very intelligently let his bike drift to the outside, which blocked Cooper and forced Guy to hit the brakes instead of the throttle. Strategy like this makes a big difference when you're talking about a tight arena cross course like we have here in Atlanta. So there's a good look at our first two as they go alongside the finish line, braking very strongly in those tight hairpin turns. Way back in third place, that looked like number 808, Todd DeHoop. Haven't talked much about Todd lately, but he's moving up through the pack. 52, Jeff Fritz in fourth place, and it looks like Wild Willie Surratt is going to be out of the money again. Willie, remember, out of the race earlier in one of the heat events, not able to make it back for the main. So Mike Jones, 21 years old, riding a motorcycle and getting paid for it. How's that for a job? There you can see the wife of number 15, Guy Cooper, Jamie, pointing to the rider back behind Guy saying, "Look out, sweetheart. You got somebody who's ready to take over second place. Should you shy off the throttle a little bit?" Guy says, "Okay." Good close-up of the Honda rider. As I said, a lot of people are pegging him to earn a Honda factory ride at the end of the '87 season. And here's Jamie once again pointing back out behind saying, "Come on now, Guy. Keep your act together. I want to eat dinner tonight." You know, when you're talking about life on the road as a privateer, the difference between first and second place can mean the difference between a steak dinner and Jack in the Box. And that's probably going through the mind of Mr. and Mrs. Cooper right now. 396, Jones, still the leader on a Yamaha. Second place, there we have number 15, Cooper, as another message gets flashed to him. In third place, number 808, Todd DeHoop. So Yamaha first and third place as we're just around the midpoint here of the main event on Saturday night. Back behind DeHoop, though, Suzuki rider Friss looks like he's going to come back. Now remember, Jeff had himself a first race that wasn't exactly up to par. During the first event on Friday night, Jeff's main got him no better than 8th place. Currently, he's in 4th. Passing number 808 would mean 3rd. You know that's on his mind right now. Comes out of the corner strong. Trying to pass the Yamaha. Again, Yamaha's looking strong on this track, even though Suzuki's have had a lot of success at the starts. Frizz using some line selection. No, on the inside there, he runs out of traction with his tires, goes down and lost 2 positions, maybe 3 by the time he gets back up. There's a look at number 25, Ross Peterson. He's chasing Jeff Hicks. Boy, if Hannah's watching this tape right now, you know that Buckwheat is saying, "Let's go, little Buccaneer," on the inside, 25 roller ball outfoxes him. Number 33, Hicks, ended up daydreaming on that outside berm, so Ross storms up one more slot. Still, look at the gap between second and third. Heck, look at the gap between first and second. We've got a big disparity between those top 3 positions here with the white flag out. 396. Boy, this is going to do an incredible amount of good for Mike Jones' racing career. Here, a relative unknown is able to beat 1 Suzuki factory rider and quite a few support folks. Great way to go ahead and earn yourself some factory money. And that is what number 396 is looking at. Jones is going to earn some YZ bucks here. As a matter of fact, this race is going to be earned some Yamaha bonus money for him. 2 hands off the bars as Jones gets the final main event win here on Saturday night. Ross Peterson takes second place. Guy Cooper, DeHoop, and Doug Hoover round out the top 5. Time to go back down to the floor. And Ben Cheatwood.
Mike Jones has just won the 250cc final here at the Superbowl of Motocross in Atlanta, Georgia. Good ride, Mike.
Yeah, I'm real happy with it. Last night I had some bad luck in the final, fell, and I ended up getting second in the 250, and I was just glad to come out tonight and win.
It was a real smooth ride, and we really enjoyed the ride. How was the passing?
The passing, it wasn't so good, but if you were aggressive enough, you could pass. And it's the first I've rode 250 in 8 months, and it's the first I've ever rode a Yamaha in my life on a 250, and I love the bike.
After this race in Atlanta, Arena Cross was billed as a success by Supercross promoters, and many more Arena Cross events began to start showing up all over the country. Thanks for joining us for this special look at Arena Cross as the next chapter in the history of Supercross, seen only here on Two Wheels. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Huffman, your host of On Two Wheels. And in this episode, we're proud to present the greatest comeback of all time. From the final running of the Los Angeles Superbowl of Motocross 1987, Rick Johnson rides the greatest race of his entire career. And many believe that with this performance, Rick Johnson should be given the title of the greatest Supercross racer in history. Join me now as I originally announced this classic race, and you can decide for yourself. On Two Wheels, the history of Supercross is brought to you in part by Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. By Moto Video Home Entertainment, the exclusive home video supplier of America's toughest race on home video, the Blackwater 100. And by your local Suzuki Pro Level RM motorcycle dealer. Suzuki, the ride you've been waiting for.
Hello everyone, I'm Larry Huffman and welcome to the 16th annual Super Bowl of Motocross here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. With me to call the action tonight, David Stanfield. David, a champion has already been crowned. Is this anticlimactic tonight?
Well, round number 14, they thought it was going to be a big, great race. Well, it is. We've already crowned Jeff Ward, or he will be crowned tonight. But looking at the series, it's been a great series. They've been riding injured all year long. Warren Reed said it a couple of years ago. He said it'd be a cold day in hell before a privateer actually won a Supercross. Well, it was a rainy day in Daytona, and Ricky Ryan from San Jose, California did the deed, the first winner of a Supercross race as a privateer. He won one. Ron Lachine won one, but the battle all year long has been between two great guys. Number one, Rick Johnson, and Jeff Ward, the number 3 plate.
And Shab Glick in the Los Angeles Times this morning said you could not find a more dissimilar pair of riders. Johnson, well over 6 foot, a real fluid rider, real easy style. Jeff Ward, about 5'7", built like a football halfback, and he attacks the track.
He attacks the track, and it is weird. It's not they're going for the number 1 plate, but there is lots of feelings out there, and both want to win.
Also some controversy, the start, a different type of start tonight. There's no downhill start because the AMA said no at the last minute, so it's a very short start, David.
It is going to be a bottleneck. The riders are trying to figure out how to take this start. I don't know what's going to happen. It is going to be possibly the strangest start of all time.
It's a first gear. They can't get out of first gear before they're in the first turn.
Correct. And there's another portion of the track where it is single file through, and like Rick Johnson was essentially complaining to the head referee, hey, you can either get in front and block people, you can bump people. Another rider, a team rider, can actually possibly hold him back if he doesn't get a good start. He doesn't like it.
We're in for a wild night of racing, ladies and gentlemen, and that sets the stage. All right, let's take a look at this longest and toughest track ever in Supercross. David?
The AMA outlawed the downhill start, so they moved the start down to the bottom of the field, and it is a tight right-handed turn that is a bottleneck, guaranteed.
And they have to go into a sharp right-hander, can't even get out of first gear, and oh, look out, look at the traffic.
In the heat races, 12 try to make it around that turn. In the main event, we're going to try to see 21.
Oh, look out. The triples, look at these guys go for the air on the triples, David. What do they call this part of the track?
This is the freeway. The first set of triples, they jump. The second, way too dangerous. They kind of bounce over and try to double it.
We go from there to the S's, a controversial part of the track, to say the least. We looked at them a second ago. Let's look at it again. David?
Man-made S's, a series of chicanes, and they're inside and outside lines, and if you're going to be aggressive and try to win, you're going to have to be very creative riding through here.
It's going to be very, very difficult, no question about that. Another part of the track to look for, the whoops. And they are dangerous. They're not high speed, but they are dangerous, David.
Yeah, I think they're in second gear here, and they've got to get back on their bike. And one mistake, they're going to pop out of gear, they're going to go over their handlebars.
Those are the whoops. There's the finish line jump. A tabletop puts them about 30 feet up in the air. And then they go right back up in the air again. And the most famous part of the track, the famous peristyle, where the riders come up, go outside the track through the marble columns, then come back around and launch themselves 80 feet to the floor of the Coliseum. It's like coming out of a tunnel into TV lights. It's bizarre, David.
Jumping off a cliff.
Now it's been a battle between you and Jeff.
Yeah, me and Jeff have had a tough battle this year. We've been going head-to-head pretty much every race. I won the last round in Meadowlands in New York, or New Jersey, I should say, and Jeff fell. So it's been tough on both of us. You know, it's been a trying year, and he happened to come out on top. So I'd like to congratulate him, but then again, tell him to watch out for next year.
What's your incentive tonight? He's got the crown.
Yeah, but I got six wins to his 5. And I'd like to make it 7 to his 5, and even if he comes up and wins tonight, which I'm not planning on, it'll be six wins even, and that's not too shabby for me sitting out 3.
Lots of complaints here. The Superbowl motocross track has changed considerably. One of the main things right now that they're complaining about is the start. We're talking a major bottleneck.
Yeah, it's a real bad bottleneck coming into the first turn. I practiced a couple of starts. You just get in second gear, drop it, then you got to shift down to first gear to make it around the turn. So it's definitely tight, but the one other bad problem is the S-turns in the back. They got it really tight. If you want, you can jump over the berms and go from inside to inside, and I think it's going to create a problem tonight.
On a positive note, we're going to see Rick Johnson flying at least 30 feet in the air with other competitors as well, right?
Oh, definitely. They got good jumps here tonight. They're good and safe, and everyone's making them. But still, it's good for the spectators. So that's really what a track needs: is exciting for the fans, but safe for the riders.
Best of luck, Rick.
Thank you.
Don't go away. Coming up, the 16th running of the Super Bowl of motocross.
And here we go to heat number 1. The lineup, David. Who should we watch for in this heat?
Two talented riders out there. Number 8, Eric Kehoe from Granada Hills, California. Also, coming from Florida, Ronnie Tishner, number 32. Honda's represented by Mickey Diamond, number 5. And then there is Jeff Stanton on a Yamaha, number 56 from Michigan.
Here we go, the start, and underway it is a privateer. That is Doug Dubach in the red jersey out of Costa Mesa, California, in that right-hand turn. There's Stanton going down on the straightaway, and there is Dubach in front. Look at this guy go, David.
Up and over the triples, the Yamaha rider just nearby Costa Mesa, California, feeling it good here in the first lap.
Coming up on the inside is number 5, Mickey Diamond. So that is Dubach in front, the red jersey, the white Yamaha. And here comes Mickey Diamond. And behind Diamond is number 32. That's Ronnie Tishner of Florida. But look at Diamond come right up on the back tire of Doug Dubach.
Kind of a series of bottlenecks in there in the S's. They're just getting things sorted out. Now the whoops.
They come through the whoops, and it is the privateer, Doug Dubach, red jersey, white bike, coming around for the first lap with Mickey Diamond right on his back tire as they fly over that tabletop jump, the tabletop finish jump. Dubach, he is from Costa Mesa, Southern California, young lad, and this is the first time he has led a race this big. Now, Diamond comes up on the inside. He is looking for a place to pass, David Stanfield, looking for a mistake by young Dubach.
Remember, he's got 8 laps, and Mickey Diamond makes the move.
Diamond goes by on the inside in mid-air as they land and goes around Dubach. So Mickey Diamond out in front, and Dubach drops off the pace. There's the difference between first and second. Mickey Diamond, number 5, factory Honda. Doug Dubach in second, and Diamond now is on the gas. There's number 32, Ronnie Tishner in third spot, trying to move up on Dubach. Meanwhile, behind Tishner is his teammate, Eric Kehoe. Tishner comes right up on Dubach. But it is Mickey Diamond in front. David Stanfield, Diamond is, we called him when he first started, a diamond in the rough, but he is a seasoned competitor, formerly with Husqvarna.
And he's an outstanding rider, and you think of him, you think of winning the 125 National Championship, and he is on the road this year for his 2nd National Championship. But here he's riding a 250 machine, possibly his last season with Honda.
Mickey Diamond suffered a mononucleosis-type infection earlier this year, and Honda team manager Gary Mathers sent him home before Daytona, and he sat it out for several weeks. In fact, almost about 6 weeks. And Diamond is back now, and he's looking good here at the LA Coliseum. Mickey Diamond extending his lead here in heat number 1 at the Los Angeles Coliseum, Super Bowl of Motocross. Number 5, that's Diamond. Keep your eye on Duboc. He is in second spot. Tishner right behind him. Factory Suzuki and Eric Kehoe, a tough young rider who's been with Suzuki for a couple of years, right behind him in fourth. That's the bump spot. The first four go to the main. Look at Diamond. He's having fun out there. Starting to cross up a little bit, and the crowd is responding. Over the finish line jump. Red jersey, that's Duboc. Then Tishner, the Floridian. And then behind him, Eric Kehoe. They go up the uphill. Now, Kehoe has been racing Supercross and Motocross for several years now. He's a seasoned veteran. And he is going to start to put the pressure on his teammate and go after Duboc. Mickey Diamond, Southern California, born and bred, raised on the deserts, the Mojave Desert, former Husqvarna factory desert star, signed by Honda at the beginning of last year, gave him a 125 national championship right off the bat. This kid is tough. And here's the battle for second. Duboc, then Tishner, then Kehoe. Kehoe going to the inside now. Tishner to the outside. Kehoe's going to try to put a move on him on the inside. No. Tishner slams the door, and Tishner almost runs over Duboc. Now Kehoe comes back, and he's got him. Kehoe has taken third, and now Eric Kehoe is going after Duboc. Oh, it almost got him right there on the inside. Doug Duboc, white Yamaha. Eric Kehoe. Oh, and Kehoe makes a mistake. He killed the engine and pulls off the track. Oh, what a tough break. The white flag comes out. Diamond goes in front. Duboc goes back in second. Tishner in third. And Jeff Stanton in fourth. What a tough break for Kehoe. Something happened. He killed the engine. The peristyle. Now Tishner going after Duboc. I don't think he can catch him as Mickey Diamond goes for the checkered flag. They come down off the peristyle. That's Duboc on the right. There is Mickey Diamond. That's a lapped rider way back in the pack. Number 5, Mickey Diamond is heading for the gold here in the final lap, the first heat of the Los Angeles Superbowl of Motocross. Having no problems whatsoever. Aside from the first couple of laps, or the first few seconds, actually, he had no problems at all. He passed Duboc and went on for it. Duboc in second spot. Checkered flag, and Mickey, look at him, cross up, sideways, he's got it. And there is Doug Duboc, and a very credible second for this young lad. The Diamond takes home the bacon. So the finish, Mickey Diamond, Doug Duboc, Ronnie Tishner, and Jeff Stanton on the Yamaha finishing fourth. They'll transfer to the main. Let's go down to David Stanfield and Mickey Diamond on the field.
Now, truthfully, you're expected to win that first heat looking at the competition, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't know how the other riders rank me, but I rank myself up there with the top guys, and I guess most of them are in the third or the fourth heat.
Toughest thing about this track, is it the start?
The start's definitely, it can be a total disaster for you, or it could be a total blessing for you, so, you know, I'm just hoping I get out front, and if I get out front on the start, there's not many places to pass, so my chance will be good.
Congratulations. See you in the main event.
Thank you very much.
Mickey Diamond with a clean win, first moto.
And we go now to heat number 2, David Stanfield, who looks good here.
Eddie Warren, number 17, the Kawasaki rider, but he's going to be challenged by Keith Bowen, the Yamaha rider, number 6, Guy Cooper, number 15 on the Honda. Then there's Jim Hawley and Keith Turpin. Lots of good riders in this heat race, number 2.
And there they go, Holland on the left, Turpin on the right, and they get slammed into by Keith Bowen, and a rider goes down. David, who's that rider?
Number 141, Jerry Jerkowski, eats the dust there.
And out in front, it looks like Eddie Warren on the factory Kawasaki from Michigan is on the gas. The rider's tangling right in mid-pack, and another rider goes down and down hard over those series of small jumps. He picks up the bike and tries to get back into the race.
Jim Marostica on a Honda from Colorado, not being welcome here by the LA Coliseum, throwing him sideways.
And there's number 17, Eddie Warren in front, the Kawasaki rider out of Michigan, the Michigan Mafia. And back to the rider on the starting line, and they are taking him away, David Stanfield.
Jerry definitely rolled up in a ball. I think his neck's pretty strained.
Okay, in front, number 17, Eddie Warren. Now, Warren is a former 125 national star. He's trying to make it into the big time in Supercross, and he is out in front. Eddie Warren, number 17 on the Kawasaki. There's your leader.
It is Warren, Cooper, Bowen, Hawley, and Turpin. 5 great riders flying through the night air here in Los Angeles.
Guy Cooper, number 15, he's out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. He is running in second spot. We should see him momentarily trying to catch up to Eddie Warren. Warren is a full-on factory rider from Kawasaki. He's back by the factory along with Ron Lachine and Jeff Ward, and he is opening up a lead as Diamond did in the first heat. There's number 15, Guy Cooper behind him. Cooper is a privateer. The difference between a factory rider and a privateer, David Stanfield?
Well, there's actually three. There's a misnomer. There's a privateer who pays all his expenses, then there's the pro support, and then there's the factory rider, like number 17, Eddie Warren. And basically, he's a 125 national champion rider. He's on the championship circuit here. He's riding like Mickey Diamond does for Honda in the Supercross races and the 125 outdoor national races.
Full factory support, number 17 on the gas. The front wheel comes up in the air as he goes over the finish line jump. Eddie Warren. And behind him, number 15, Guy Cooper. Cooper is a support rider for Honda, basically a privateer. He and his very pretty wife, who handles the pit signals to Cooper on the track, travel around their van. They sleep in their van, going from race to race. If they make some money, they sleep in a motel. But Guy Cooper right now is running second in this second heat to this young man, Eddie Warren, number 17. Keith Bowen, number 6, on the Yamaha is running in third and moving up. But it is Warren's race all the way at this point. The track's staying together very well. There's number 17, Warren. Supercross was born right here at the Coliseum back in 1972. Mike Goodwin, the godfather of Supercross, put it on the map. And there is Cooper, number 15 in second spot. He's down! Cooper goes down! Oh, and Bowen goes by him. Bowen will take second, and he's got a grin on his face like a Halloween jack-o'-lantern. Meanwhile, look at the lead that Eddie Warren has got on the Kawasaki with Bowen behind him on the Yamaha.
Notice, Larry, they're taking new lines through the S's down there. They're both going to inside and outside, and they're actually cutting a new groove in there.
There's first and second. Eddie Warren on the left and Keith Bowen on the right of your screen. White flag out. Motocross started back in 1946 when a number of French dispatch riders from World War II started racing in a gravel pit in France, and it's gone now to where they're riding sophisticated, incredible power-to-weight ratio 250 rocket ships. These bikes are putting out close to 41 horsepower. They are rocket ships. They weigh 212.5, 213 pounds. And they're in unbelievably good physical condition. There's first and second. Eddie Warren in front, Keith Bowen in second. Michigan.
Eddie Warren from Midland, Michigan, and Keith Bowen from Auburn Hills.
Turpin trying to move back up again to get back into the fray. A tough break for Turpin going off the track there. Final lap. Eddie Warren is going for the Champagne Glory and Gold. And Keith Bowen, who got a very bad start early in the race, a bad start, and then early in the race fell back, came back on, and he's going to finish second. We should see the checkered flag coming out momentarily for Eddie Warren, and I think it's coming out. And here comes Warren, and he's got it. Oh, look at that sideways, and he hits the ground and almost goes down. That's a little bit too much showboating. He got sideways like a pancake and almost found himself like a pancake. Bowen finishes second. Eddie Warren, woo, look at this guy. Keith Bowen in second, Guy Cooper third, Jim Hollywood Holly in fourth. Let's go down to David Stanfield on the field.
Big air at the finish. That scared me.
Yeah, I got a little bit squirrely, but hey, puts on a good show for the fans.
Good to see you in the winner's circle. What's this going to do for you the rest of the night?
I feel really strong tonight. I should be up top 5 pretty easy, I think.
Hey, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
And here we go with heat number 3. David Stanfield, who are we looking for in this one?
Well, we've got 5 real hot riders. Number 33, Jeff Hicks. Number 47, Brian Manley. Number 44, Fred Andrews. The 2 guns to watch out, number 19, Jeff Lees from Australia, and number 7, George Holland from, I believe, Kerman or Hanford, California.
Right in the same area. That's number 7, Holland, right there in the center of the pack. He's got number 44, and I believe that is Fred Andrews lined up next to him. And here we go. We're set to go. The star, 47, Manley next to him. Manley almost gets a hole shot, but it is Holland in front. Holland with Hicks in second, but it is so long as George Holland starts to pull away. Holland, Northern California in front. And the rest of the pack all over the track behind. Oh, and a rider goes down and into the chain link fence. David, what happened? And another rider goes off to the left. Look at that, a bizarre crash.
2 big bailouts. Todd Lehman, number 312, throws his bike into the chain link fence, but he's okay.
We might point out that the first 10 rows of seats are called kill seats, not because of what will happen to the spectators if a bike goes into it, because they don't sell the tickets those first 10 rows, and you just saw why.
Insurance reasons. Now we've got George Holland leading on the Suzuki.
Number 7, Holland from the Kerman-Hanford area, Northern California. In front, number 19, Leask, originally from Australia, now living in Southern California in second spot. But it is Holland on the RM250 Suzuki into the peristyle and coming back out. Holland down to the bottom, in control, in front. Tough rider, big broad shoulders, big arms. About 5'10", very muscular. And Leask in second spot. The rest of the pack trying to move up on George Holland, but it is Holland in front, Leask moving up behind him. George Holland is out of Northern California, Hanford, California. He's carrying number 7 Team Suzuki, and a lot of people are touting him as a national champion in the next year or two. George Holland. They call him Hulk Holland after the race at Arizona at Phoenix. When he defeated both Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson in his heat race, he suddenly got very aggressive. That's what he's got to do. Holland, number 7 in front, number 19, Leask in second. Leask is a transplanted Australian. He was the top-ranked rider in Australia, and then he decided to come to the States and race for the big money with the big boys. He lives at Eddie Lawson's house, the world road racing champion in Ontario, California. Oh, a rider down, and David Stanfield, if you can give us more on that, who was that?
That is Todd Lehman, the guy that endoed big time on the freeway, the front stretch. Well, he went it one more time.
Hopefully he's going to get out of the race at this point. Lehman goes down hard twice. Meanwhile, there is Holland. The yellow caution flag comes out. Lehman, they're waving Holland away, and Lehman is on the ground. I don't know if he's going to come back in the race. Number 7, Holland in front. Leask, number 19 in second. There's Lehman. He's up. David Stanfield, he wants to go back in the race.
He is okay. 2 horrendous front endos, and he is continuing getting back into the race in last spot.
I don't believe it. Here's Holland in front. Leask trying to move up on him. George Holland opening up the lead. He's got a big lead. There's his mechanic, Ray Tetherton, one of the top mechanics in the Suzuki camp, waving on Holland, and this guy is in control. Look at him. Poetry in motion over those jumps. The wrists, the arms, the shoulders take a tremendous amount of punishment, as do the knees on a track like this. They are hammered for 10 laps or 8 laps, depending on the length of the race, but they are hammered. There's Leask now, coming up on Holland like a Christian on an airport traveler. And the white flag is out. Let's see the checkered and see if Leask gets close to him. Holland in control.
That's Lehman right there. He is in 10th place. He's never say die. Todd Lehman, the man that crashed so many times, he's still in there. And look at this.
Holland is wobbling a little bit, and Leask comes up on him. Looking for the final checkered flag in this heat race, number 3. And Leask almost goes to the inside and almost passes Holland. The checkered flag comes out. It's going to be George Holland by about a bike length. He looks behind him to see how close Leask was. But Holland takes the gold. Jeff Leask waves to him as he goes by, acknowledging the victory. Holland takes the victory. Jeff Leask, the Australian, finishes second. The finish, Holland, Leask, Fred Andrews, and Brian Manley. Heat number 3. And this is heat number 4. And that's the hottest rider in the world today in motocross, according to Bob Hanna, Ricky Johnson. And Johnson, David Stanfield, has drawn a tough heat in this heat number 4.
The toughest heat of the night, a loaded gun. Jeff Ward concentrating on getting to the first turn first. There's number 9, Ron Lachine, Ricky Johnson's nemesis. But remember, we got Ricky Ryan in this. Anybody that's won a Supercross this year is in this heat.
All right, here we go. Let's watch the battle between Johnson and Lachine. And there they go. And that's Lachine, number 9. And he slams into Johnson and runs him to the hay bale. Our cameraman, Mark Leckel, almost got run over, but Lachine takes the whole shot after stuffing Johnson and goes out in front. Ron Lachine.
It is wild out front. Lachine very smooth. Lots of pressure behind. Jeff Ward, number 3, followed by Rick Johnson, number 1, and Tyson Boland, number 22.
So it is Ron Lachine in front on this one, opening up the lead now. Jeff Ward, his Kawasaki teammate, in second, and Ricky Johnson. And Johnson has got to be burning David Stanfield. He's got to be absolutely unbelievably upset at Ron Lechien at that tactic at the start.
Very erratic riding by Johnson. You know he's upset. He's got to gather, get it together right now, or he's not going to have any chance at winning this race.
Ricky Johnson, a very emotional young man, the top rider in the world today, according to Bob Hurricane Hannon. He finds himself in the unaccustomed third place in this heat, and look at Johnson go for the air. Lechien in front and Johnson in third spot right behind Ward. There they go up the uphill. That's Lechien in front. Jeff Ward in second, and right on his back tire is Ricky Johnson. Down the downhill and back onto the track, number 9, Ron Lechien. Lechien in control. He won the second night at Pontiac this year. The only other rider besides Ricky Ryan to win other than Ward and Johnson. So Lechien, one win this year in Supercross. He'd like to do it again tonight at the Coliseum. Ron Lechien, number 9, in front. Jeff Ward behind him, number 3. And there is, in fourth spot, well, yes, there is Johnson, third spot, Johnson, number 1. Johnson does not look good early in the race. He does not look smooth. Lechien looks awfully good out in front. He's not making any mistakes at all. Look at Lechien go for the air. Off that tabletop jump, there's Ward, number 3 and third, and there's number 1, Johnson in fourth. And the crowd here is waiting for Johnson to make a move. But right now, it's Ron Lechien, number 9, Team Kawasaki of El Cajon, California. Good-looking young lad in front. Lechien about 6 foot tall, built like a football halfback.
Ron Lechien, 20 years old, the 1985 125 national champion. All 3 of these guys, the 3 front runners, they are the bonus babies, the big bucks, man. They're close to $1 million in just salaries alone these 3 guys command.
Unbelievable. Lechien and Ward and Johnson, they are making in the mid 6-figure bracket just in salaries from the factory. And you add on top of that David Stanfield endorsements, bonuses, and it's unbelievable what these guys can pull in.
Little trinket money for this race alone. Fastest heat race of the night, more likely it'll be this one. And if Lechien wins it, he's going to pick up an extra $1,000 tonight and $4,000 for the series.
The top riders are burned out by age 25, 26, 27. They are out of racing, but they certainly can command top salaries, top income until then. And here is Johnson now getting serious. He is going after Ward up the peristyle. The crowd is cheering Johnson on. They come out of the peristyle and drop 80 feet to the floor of the Coliseum. Lechien in front. There's second, Ward number 3, and there's Johnson number 1 and third. Ron Lechien out of El Cajon, California, a breeding ground for top motocrossers. Riders like Brock Glover and Ricky Johnson, Lechien, all coming out of the El Cajon area. And Lechien has got this race wrapped up if he can stay away and stay in front of these 2 riders, number 3 Ward and number 1 Johnson.
Look at Larry, the lines they're taking now. Johnson pressuring Ward and Ward picking up the pace, and sure enough, they're catching up to Lechien.
The momentum of their battle, David Stanfield, is carrying them closer to Lechien. The crowd's cheering them on. There's Lechien, number 9, past a lapped rider through the whoops. And the white flag comes out, and Johnson comes on. It's Lechien in front. Look at human pogo sticks. Ward in second, number 3, and here comes Ricky Johnson. These 3 top riders have all got videos out. Jeff Ward just released a video, Wardy's Winning Ways, available at Kawasaki dealers. He tells you how to do this, but you got to have an awful lot of talent to be able to ride a motorcycle like these guys. Look at Johnson on the back tire of Ward, stalking him, looking for a mistake.
Johnson does not like this. In third position, he is the defending champion here. He's going to lose his number 1 plate to Ward, and out in front is his nemesis. Johnson does not like being in third.
Ron Lechien in front, and he has let his displeasure with Johnson be known. He says, I don't like Ricky Johnson. I stuffed him in the hay bales. I know that's what he's going to say in the victory circle, because he did. He put him right in the hay bales. Now, Wardy trying to stay in front of Johnson, and Johnson's all over the track. Ronnie Lechien in front, the final lap. The checkered flag coming out. Here they go. Now Johnson right on Ward's back tire. Here's the finish. Oh, no hands. Here's Wardy. Looks behind him, and Johnson just waves at him, and they're both in midair. So Ron Lechien, a beautiful move at the start, although Johnson might dispute that. Lechien takes the victory. Ward is second, Ricky Johnson third, and Tyson Boland. Tyson Boland, we didn't even see him finishing in fourth spot. Let's go to David Stanfield on the field and Ron Lechien.
Great. I think I just got the Coors Cup championship, and that's what I was really trying for real hard, and I feel great.
The pressure, the guys behind
They were coming. I knew they were there. I was just trying to ride my own race and stay up.
You gotta feel good going into Maine.
Feel real good.
Best thing about the start?
Yeah, I got a good start. Cut Johnson off there. Felt real good.
Okay, what do we look for in the Maine?
Hopefully the same start and hopefully the win.
And the stage is set for the main event. Ron Lachine, number 9, fresh off that victory in his heat race. This kid is pumped. Jeff Ward, number 3, who will take the number 1 plate tonight at the conclusion of the evening. He's won the national number 1 plate in Supercross. And Ricky Johnson, the man who'll give it up. He wants to win tonight. He wants to win bad. And the wild card is Mickey Diamond, number 5 on the factory Honda. Let's see what Diamond can do here in the main. And they line up. 21 of the best riders in the world of Supercross. There's number 1, Johnson coming up on the line. Next to him, number 7, Holland. 15, Guy Cooper looking down the line. David Stanfield, a top lineup in this main event.
The top 2 guns, they've been riding injured all year long. Rick Johnson with 6 Supercross victories and Jeff Ward with 5. Ricky Bryan with 1 and Ron Lachine with 1. Johnson to the far outside with poor position.
He had to take the outside, and here's the start. There's Ward, number 3. Here comes Cooper. There goes Johnson, and Johnson is forced out. Johnson goes all the way to the outside, and here's the battle for the lead. Number 44, Fred Andrews of Ohio, and 15, Cooper, and Johnson is trying to get back into the race. Holy Toledo, what an upset. The crowd on the edge of their seat here at the Coliseum. It is number 44, Fred Andrews in front. And there's number 9, Lachine, who was also in that tangle. And Lachine will start out. He's back in 19th place. A tough break for Lachine and a tough break for Johnson. And suddenly it's anybody's ball game. David Stanfield, as out in front is Fred Andrews.
In that first turn pileup, Dubach, Bolin, Tishner, Lachine, Kalos, and Ricky Johnson, and I believe Ronnie Tishner has broken his arm.
And the question is, can Johnson or Lachine come back and even have a chance of winning this race? 20 laps through the mud, the blood, the beer here at the LA Coliseum, and Johnson is starting in 17th spot.
Jeff Ward in 9th right now. Ricky Johnson has moved up to 15th. Ronnie Lachine in 18th spot. There's your leaders.
Now going off the peristyle and down 80 feet to the floor, number 44, Fred Andrews, Salem, Ohio. He has never led a race this big, this prestigious. And 15 right behind him is Cooper. Then in 3rd spot is 47, Manley, and it looked like Bolin coming up also. But here is your leader, Fred Andrews, and Cooper behind him. And Cooper is riding like Charlie Manson. Look at this guy all over the track. Cooper is a wild rider. He's not a teenager. He's 24 years old out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and he's going around. No! Andrews slams the screen door right in his face. Here's Johnson, and Johnson is moving up. He's up to about 14th now. Meanwhile, Andrews in front. That's Bolin in 3rd. Here goes Cooper. He passes in midair, and Guy Cooper has taken the lead.
Incredible. Guy Cooper, known for his aerial antic, puts it to good use and takes over the lead. Guy Cooper, number 15, Stillwater, Oklahoma, and he flies back onto the Coliseum floor in the lead.
15, Guy Cooper in front, and nobody expected this. Andrews in 2nd. There's 6, Bolin in 3rd, 47, Manley, and there's number 5, Diamond, and he is in 5th spot. And Diamond, if you discount Bolin, who's not had a good year, Diamond is the only superstar in the top 5. There's Wardy, and Wardy is back in mid-pack.
Wardy is in 8th right now, but it looks like he's moving up, riding very fast.
Jeff Ward is going to have to move up. Now Johnson is way back. He started in 17th spot, actually, Johnson. And here's a pileup, and Diamond piles up there, and Lease tries to go around, and Lease goes into a hay bale. And Ward gets stuffed by Diamond. But Ward very wisely backs off and doesn't try to rush through Diamond. There's still plenty of racing left. And there's your leader, Guy Cooper, with number 44, Andrews in 2nd, and number 6, Bolin in 3rd. And here comes Wardy trying to make his way into the top 5.
Wardy's trying to pass Jeff Stanton, and Stanton's right in front of him. And here they go up the peristyle. Jeff Ward has his sights on Stanton.
Jeff Stanton on a privateer factory support Yamaha ride. He's out of Michigan. A tough rider, and Wardy's trying to pull it and reel him in.
And look at all the riders behind him. Paul, Lease, Johnson, they're all back there.
And this is the guy they're trying to catch. Number 15, privateer Guy Cooper of Stillwater, Oklahoma. 24 years old. This guy is wild. He's a crazy jumper, but right now he's leading the biggest race in the world. There comes Ward trying to move up. He is going around. It looks like he's got Stanton, and Stanton goes right back in front of him. Now Ward goes in front. And Stanton Shuts the door. A beautiful move by Stanton, David Stanfield.
Stanton is an outstanding rider, a 250, a 500 rider big. He's kind of like the next Rick Johnson, they say.
56, Jeff Stanton, but we're watching now number 15, Guy Cooper. Over the finish line jump, there's number 44 in second. That's still Fred Andrews, the Salem, Ohio rider on the private Honda. And meanwhile, it is still Jeff Ward trying to move up. He's trying to get around Stanton, and Stanton holds him off. There's Bowen, number 6. And Manley is in fourth spot right behind Bowen. And there is Ricky Johnson coming out of nowhere. And Johnson has gone up to 9th from 17th. Unbelievable, unbelievable drive by Ricky Johnson.
And there it is, Ward, Holland, and Least. What a battle.
And there's Brian Lunas saying you can. Now that's Ricky Johnson's mechanic. He says you can 16 laps. And he's telling Ricky Johnson you can go for it. You have 16 laps to win. A lot of people don't feel here in the Coliseum that Johnson can win. There's Cooper, your leader, over the jumps. There's the difference between first and second spot. There's Wardy back away, still trying to move up. But it is Guy Cooper, number 15 in front, 44, Fred Andrews in second.
And look at that, Ricky Johnson's already moved up. He's made a couple of passes, and now he's got a high set on Jeff Ward.
Johnson at this point is about in sixth or seventh spot. There's number 15, Cooper. He's in front and pulling away the top riders in the world. And until this year, Ricky Ryan was the first privateer to win a Supercross at Daytona, and Guy Cooper might win it tonight in Los Angeles.
Ward has passed Stanton. Now Johnson tries the outside and takes over Leask.
Ricky Johnson, what an incredible battle. He's come from 17th spot all the way up now to, I believe, about 5th or 6th. David, where do you have Johnson at this point?
I have got Johnson in 6th, and Ward now has passed Manley. There is
Ward is
Johnson.
in 4th, and there comes Johnson moving up. And Johnson is going after Ward. Unbelievable. Whoa, what a race. Cooper in front, Andrews in second, Bowen still holding on to third here at the LA Coliseum. There's number 15, Cooper, in front. Excellent camera work by our crew. There's Wardy, and Ward, I believe at this point, is about in fourth.
Jeff Ward, 26 years old. Ripe old age at 26. He's been with Kawasaki 10 years.
And there's Johnson behind him. So Ward is in fourth spot, Ricky Johnson in fifth, and here is a battle the crowd has waited to see. Holy Toledo. Cooper rips off a tear-off as he goes over the finish line, tabletop jump.
And look at the lead Cooper has.
Here comes Johnson, the crowd getting behind him. They want him to pass Ward over the tabletop jump. Ward is in fourth and Johnson is in fifth. They're getting awfully close together, David Stanfield. We could see some tangling of handlebars real soon.
They are bunching up on our third-place rider. That is Keith Bowen. And remember, Fred Andrews, 44, is still up there.
They're in the peristyle. It's Ward holding on in fourth spot. Johnson right next to him. Look out! Whoa! And they tangle handlebars! Look out! Johnson almost goes down. He tangles handlebars with Ward, and Ward is not somebody you can trifle with. He's strong. He's only about 5'6", but he's about as wide as a piano in the shoulders, and you don't knock him down. Johnson tried to go around Ward, and Ward shut the door on him.
Look at the drive RJ has on the back freeway. They're coming out of that mechanic's turn, and then he loses a little bit over that kind of sand trap there into the S as he bobbles.
Jeff Ward and Johnson tangled at the top of the peristyle. You could barely see it in the darkness, and Johnson almost went down and recovered. And there goes Johnson. He's going around Ward, and he's got him. Unbelievable. Johnson has gone into fourth. And there is Lunas. He is trying to figure out where Johnson is in the track. He can hear the crowd cheering, and there he goes past Bowen. And Johnson has gone to third. An unbelievable display of sheer determination. You crash, you're in 17th, you get up, and he's gone from 17th to third. And Johnson is trying to pass Andrews going up the uphill. There's Cooper in front. Cooper does not know, David Stanfield, what's going on behind him.
He can hear the crowd. The crowd is going crazy. His wife on the pit board saying, go, go, go. And everywhere Johnson is riding on the track, they're doing the wave, yelling for him.
Oh, unbelievable. He is stalking number 44, Fred Andrews, for second spot. There is Lunas still watching Johnson. He can't believe this. There's your second place rider, number 44, a privateer. And there's number 1, Johnson, the hottest rider in the world. And he's going to go around Andrews. He's going to try. He's got him. Andrews just backed off, and now he's trying to go back after Johnson. And Bowen is right behind Andrews. And now Johnson has gone from 17th to 2nd, and he's going after Guy Cooper. David Stanfield, I don't believe this race.
Possibly an insurmountable lead. Guy Cooper is so far out in front. But the problem with Guy Cooper, as with Ricky Johnson, they're approaching slower traffic.
In a blaze of glory, there is Cooper in front, and Johnson smells blood. He sees the young Oklahomian in front of him, and he is going after him. Over the finish line jump. Guy Cooper, number 15, he's your leader. A surprise, he's led almost the entire race here at the Coliseum on a warm summer evening. And there's Johnson, number 1 in second. And Johnson is going after Cooper, and there they are. That's Cooper in front and Johnson behind him as they go up the uphill. What a battle! Johnson is stalking him all over the track. Look at this, a bike link in front, and Johnson is looking for a place to pass. Cooper is riding over his head, David Stanfield. He is taking chances. He's got to stay in front of Johnson.
This is incredible. RJ is going to try every trick in the book, and watch this.
The crowd is going absolutely insane. Unbelievable. Johnson has gone from 17th to 2nd, and he is one bike length away from taking the victory. He's got him. Johnson, no! Cooper takes it back. Johnson trying to go around the outside, and Cooper said, no, you're not going by. You will not pass. And he slammed the door in Johnson's face, and Johnson is mad. He wants Cooper.
RJ got a wheel in. Cooper said, no way. Shut the door.
Unbelievable, unbelievable racing action. The crowd going crazy. Johnson now trying it again. Johnson's got him. Johnson has got Cooper.
Incredible drive coming out of the whoops. RJ, his weight over the back rear tire, incredible floating sensation over the bumps, and he just had the drive over the jump.
I have never seen a race like this. You got a rider who crashed in the first lap. He started 17th out of 21 riders, and he has taken the lead, and the crowd can't believe it. But Cooper, he's like a bumblebee who's gone crazy. He keeps staying close to Johnson and makes Johnson's life miserable. Johnson's saying, you're not supposed to do this. If I pass you, back off. The sign from, did you see that sign from Lunas?
Less than 2 laps to go, 0 lead, meaning no seconds. You've got Guy Cooper right on your tail. No mistakes for Johnson, but let me tell you, he's had to pass 16 guys, and he has got mud on his goggles. He doesn't have clear vision.
That could be a problem in the last few moments. Johnson looks a little wobbly here, and also he's probably incredibly tired. He's in good physical shape. There's Lachine way back, who was never a factor in the main event.
I believe Ronnie Lachine has now moved up to 11th spot, which is admirable.
White flag. The white flag comes out, and Johnson's got a lap. If he can hold on for one more lap, David Stanfield, he's got the victory. And Cooper is determined to try to pull off the upset of the century. Look at this. Unbelievable.
No mistakes. They're concentrating on no mistakes right now.
They can't make a mistake. If Johnson makes a mistake, Cooper will take him. This is the final lap. The final few turns, can Johnson do it? Can he come? I don't think anybody has ever come from 17. He is having problems with his goggles. You can see him paw at the tear-offs. He's having problems.
Vision problems. He got roosted a couple times, and he's got rocks and dirt on his goggles. There it goes again.
Yeah.
And he is bobbling. That slowed him up quite a bit. Here comes Cooper. Cooper is closing the gap every time Johnson tries to clear off his tear-off.
He's been eating roost for all the whole lap for like 17, 18, well, 19 laps now. He's been taking dirt in his face, and he's trying to hold on to this lead, and Cooper is stalking him.
100 yards to go.
Unbelievable. The final lap, and Johnson goes down. He goes down. Johnson gets up again. The crowd goes crazy. Cooper is on him like a dog on a piece of meat. The checkered flag comes out, and Ricky Johnson wins the Superbowl of Motocross. Holy Toledo!
Guy Cooper, incredible finish as well.
Look at Johnson turns around and shakes his hand and holds it up and says, you won this one too, buddy. Johnson wins it. Cooper is second. Unbelievable. Ricky Johnson takes home the victory. Guy Cooper, a well-deserved second. Jeff Ward manages third, and Jeff Lee's fourth. Let's go down to the field, and David Stanfield and an elated Ricky Johnson.
That must have been the longest race of your life.
No, it was probably one of the best. I got hit really hard the first turn. I looked back to see who waffled me, and it was 2 Kawasaki's, and those are the guys that I was worrying about, having to go catch them. Jeff got off before me, but Ronnie didn't have a chance. So I just kept plugging away. I wasn't worried about what place I was. I just wanted to charge the whole race, and it worked out.
What was Looney telling you on the pit board?
He was just telling me to charge, mainly to just keep going, keep pushing, because sometimes when you get a gap in between guys, you sort of get lackadaisical. And he told me I was in second and how far Cooper was. And I felt really good when I saw -8 laps. It felt great, man. I mean, the crowd here is the best. I mean, they saw a good race. It's not usually you see someone come from last in a pile and win, so I can't wait to watch it on videotape.
Guy, incredible, great. I mean, what's the feeling?
It's so great. I'm so happy. Second is the best I've ever done at Supercross. I wanted to win so bad, but...
We're talking, you know, a heat win is fine, but coming in the top 3 in a Supercross race, especially the granddaddy of them all, it's got to be great. Okay, what was it like? You didn't get the whole shot, though.
No, I didn't get the whole shot, but Fred Andrews is a good friend of mine, and I was hoping that I could get around him without any problems, and I did on the second lap. Jana did a real good job on the pit board, telling me where I was at and how many seconds I had, and she told me I had a 10-second lead at one time, and then it went to 8, and then it went to 6, and I knew it had to be Johnson or Ward. It had to be one of those two guys pulling me in.
I'd take it as good as a win.
It is. I'm really happy.
The 1987 Los Angeles Super Bowl of Motocross, and a finale that the world will never forget. A tribute to a great racer, a great man, and a true American racing legend, as seen only on 2 wheels. I'm Larry Huffman, your host, saying see you next time in the next chapter in our history of Supercross. Hello everyone and welcome to our show. I'm Larry Huffman, here to bring you the next chapter in the history of Supercross as told on 2 wheels. A quick update in the story of Supercross reveals the crowning of Jeff Ward as Supercross champion 1987. After a head injury incurred in Anaheim of that same year, Ricky Johnson makes a startling comeback just a few weeks later and finishes his 1987 season with the greatest performance of his career at the Los Angeles Super Bowl of Motocross. So the stage is set for the start of the 1988 Supercross season. A healthy Rick Johnson and his old nemesis, 87 Supercross champion Jeff Ward. In this episode, join me as I originally announce the second round of the 1988 Supercross season from the Astrodome at the Houston Supercross. Now this race officially starts a year full of battles between 2 great Supercross superstars, Jeff Ward and Rick Johnson. And 1988 also marks the first time in the history of Supercross that home video can be deemed 100% responsible for capturing the great spoke-to-spoke Supercross battles that occurred during that year.
On 2 Wheels, the history of Supercross is brought to you in part by Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. By Moto Video Home Entertainment, the exclusive home video supplier of America's toughest race on home video, the Blackwater 100. And by your local Suzuki Pro Level RM motorcycle dealer. Suzuki, the ride you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Houston Astrodome on the first AMA Supercross of 1988. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Huffman, and the near-capacity crowd of over 45,000 fans filing in is ready for a knockdown, drag-out brawl between Kawasaki's Jeff Ward, winner of the past 4 Astrodome Supercrosses, and Honda's Ricky Johnson, who has never won here at Houston. Also Ron Lachine, Suzuki's Eric Kehoe, the Golden Boy Brock Glover back for the first time in 2 years, and hot young Mickey Diamond in his first ride on a factory Yamaha. The first Supercross of the season was 1 week ago at Anaheim Stadium. It was not AMA sanctioned, but it was a barn burner. Let's take a look back at Anaheim. And this is the main event of the Mickey Thompson Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, and there they go. Down the front straightaway at close to 60 miles an hour, and it is Doug Duboc taking the lead. Oh, he's down. Duboc goes into a hay bale and goes down. Tries to get back up, and that puts it looks like Ricky Johnson and Jeff Ward out in front. Let's check it. Around the right-hander, and it is Johnson. Johnson in front with Ward second. And there is Ward in the air. He's got Johnson. A beautiful move by Jeff Ward. David Stanfield, that was absolute perfection, that pass.
Set him up in the whoop-de-doos.
Here comes Johnson on the whoops, coming up right behind Wardy, and there he goes to the inside. Where Ward did not expect him to pass, Johnson came by.
Outstanding move. Ricky Johnson on the inside, he pegged it.
With his Anaheim win, Ricky Johnson served notice that he was ready to sweep the season, but he had to do something he'd never done before. Beat Ward at Houston in the first AMA event of the year. Anaheim was a non-sanctioned race. We'll be right back with all the action from Heat 1 at the Houston Astrodome. Welcome back to the Astrodome and the first heat, Heat 1 in the 250cc Supercross. The riders to watch, number 21, Doug Duboc, number 8, Jeff Stanton, number 44, Brock Glover, and here we go. And out in front it is Keogh on the outside and Duboc on the inside. The Yamaha factory support rider goes into the lead, and here comes Glover, number 44, in the pink leathers on the inside. And Glover almost puts Duboc down and takes the lead. Brock Glover in front early in this first heat. And the crowd is responding. He's been out for 2 years. First a broken wrist, then a broken leg. And Glover is back with a vengeance. Number 9, Keogh goes into second spot. Stanton moving up right out of camber range, but it is Glover all alone in front. The Golden Boy, Brock Glover, in front early in this first heat. In second spot, it is Keogh battling for third, Duboc and Stanton. But Glover looking like 1980 again. Brock Glover, 6-time National Motocross champion out in front. Keogh on the Suzuki trying to reel in the Yamaha factory rider. And a lot of people felt that Glover was out for the count, that he wouldn't come back, and he's proving a lot of people wrong here at Houston. There's Keogh, number 9, and there is Jeff Stanton, number 8, coming into third spot. But it is Glover's show. He is as alone as Jimmy Swaggart out in front here in the Astrodome. The battle for third as they try to move up on Glover, but they can't seem to do it. Glover, the first time he scored a national championship, he was a high school senior, 17 years old in El Cajon, California. And look at him. Look at the lead Glover's got. He flies over the mountain, the finish line jump, up in the air, and he's way out in front. Keogh, number 9, running in second spot. And Glover stalls. But he's cool, gets a bike started again and just motors right over those whoop-de-doos. Eric Keogh, number 9, in second spot. But it is Glover's race all alone out in front. Factory Yamaha YZ250 putting the power to the ground. Now Keogh moving up a little bit on him. Duboc has gone back into third. Stanton has dropped to fourth. But it is Glover in front, number 44. The pink leathers on the gas. He's helping a young rider, Jeff Grafton, a very serious competitor. To gain insight to his special style of riding, let's take a look at a clip from his Moto Video home video riding motocross Glover style.
Here's what I was just explaining right here in slow motion so you can see. Now here's how I approach learning to do a tabletop jump. First, I don't hit it as fast, just to get a feel for the jump. And the second time I want to hit a little harder just to see what it takes to clear the edge of it. And the third time I might go all the way and make sure I clear it, so I hit it really fast. And once I'm sure I can clear it, then I start working on technique. I want to make sure my bike lands on the same angle as the landing area. And remember, once you've landed off these, don't forget to accelerate away.
We're back at the action here at the Astrodome. Glover says he likes jumps. He better on this track. There's the difference between Glover and second place Keogh. Back a full straightaway as they head into the whoops. Glover riding extremely smooth. There's number 8, Jeff Stanton, trying to move up into third spot. The top 4 transfer to the main event. But Glover, incredibly smooth and incredibly aggressive. He's got years of experience, and it's showing here at the Astrodome. Look at him. He's having fun over the jumps. Brock Glover, number 44, the golden boy of Supercross. First national championship when he was 17 years old. It's been a long time since Yamaha has notched a Supercross championship, but with riders like Glover and Diamond and Stanton, it's going to be a good year for Yamaha and team manager Kenny Clark. Right now, Glover is concentrating on holding on to this lead in heat number 1. There's number 9, Eric Keogh, in second. He had his biggest win of his career last year when he won the 125 USGP. Glover has achieved a lot in his career, and now he's trying for the Comeback Kid of the Year award. And the 45,000-plus fans here at the Houston Astrodome are cheering him on. There's Glover making his way through the whoop-to-doos, number 44. We are in the final moments of the first 250 Supercross heat here at the Astrodome. A man-made dirt battleground, and it's a tough one, too. That finish line jump, a tunnel jump also, is tough. But Glover holds on, looks real strong, real aggressive. He is motoring around now, heading for the finish line, and there's the checkered flag, and Brock Glover wins heat number 1. And the folks at Yamaha are happy. Glover takes the victory, Eric Keogh is second, and Doug Dubach, number 21 on the private Yamaha, is third. Let's go down to Victory Circle for the interview with Brock Glover.
With me, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of heat race number 1. Good to have him back in the winner's circle. Would you welcome, please, 1980 Supercross winner here in Houston. Going to do it again tonight for all you Yamaha fans, Brock Glover! Brock, you said you felt a little bit tight when you came up here, but I'll tell you what, partner, you looked awful good, awful fast.
Well, I felt good, you know, first few laps. I felt like I flowed real well, and then all of a sudden I started making mistakes, and I just tried to just relax, and I stalled my bike, and just, you know, I don't know. It was good enough to win. I'm happy with that. I'm really glad to be able to win the heat race. But, you know, I think I can ride better, and I hope I do in the main, and just loosen up a little bit, and I think I'll be good.
So Brock Glover serves notice that he is back and looking good. Brock Glover winning heat number 1 here at the Houston Astrodome. And coming up, more exciting Supercross action as we go to heat number 2. Don't go away. It's going to be wild. We're back at the Houston Astrodome for heat 2 in the 250 class. And here we go. The riders to watch, Johnny O'Mara, Ross Rollerball Peterson, the Canadian champion. And let's see who takes the whole shot. It is number 38, Jeff Frizz on a privateer Suzuki. And Frizz goes out in front after running one rider, number 432, into the hay bales, and he's upset. There's Frizz out in front. That's 22, Tommy Watts on the outside. But Frizz takes a whole shot, goes out in front on a new RM 250, a 1988 model. Totally redesigned by Bob Hurricane Hanna. Suzuki putting a lot of contingency money out, and it's paying off. They're getting a lot of riders on Suzukis. Running in second spot, number 14, Larry Brooks on a Kawasaki. But here's Jeff Frizz, number 38, who's not on the Frizz at all, on the gas. In second spot, that behind him, Larry Brooks, number 14. Ross Rollerball Peterson starting to move up too. Peterson, the Canadian champion. But it is Frizz taking the green flag to indicate the end of lap number 1. And the race is official. They are underway. Heat number 2 here at the Astrodome. Frizz, number 38, opening up a lead now. But Frizz doesn't like the big jumps. You saw right there a Larry Brooks triple, and Frizz has yet to triple here, even in practice. That could be his downfall. Frizz almost goes down right there. Larry Brooks behind him, number 14. It's Frizz in front, 38. Moving up in third spot, that's Peterson, number 17, the Canadian champion. And behind him, Tommy Watts. In mid-pack is Johnny O'Mara, the seasoned veteran, also winner of the GP, the 125 GP several years ago. And O'Mara right now is not a factor. He's mid-pack. In front, Jeff Frizz, number 38. And here comes Brooks now. Brooks gets a little wobbly on that jump, starting to put the pressure on Frizz. Watts on the outside in fourth, right behind Peterson. Frizz, a good young rider, but does not have the experience over the double and triple jumps. And that could be a problem tonight. Lands real hard. Through the tunnel goes Brooks, and then goes Peterson, number 17. Ross Rollerball Peterson, the Canadian 125, 250, 500, and Supercross champion. A big Swede from Medicine Hat, Alberta, number 17 there. And there comes O'Mara, number 19, into fourth, or fifth. Check that, O'Mara has gone up to fifth spot. Whoa, look at Brooks go fly through the air. Looks like Top Gun. But Frizz will not triple. And look at the other riders bunch up behind him as they move up on him. That's going to cause Frizz in this race. Brooks goes to the inside, tries to pass. But Frizz slams a screen door right in his face. Meanwhile, it is Brooks on Frizz like a Krishna on an airport traveler. Here's Brooks. He's got the lead. Brooks rides a rear wheel at Kawasaki with the precision of a brain surgeon and goes out in front. And there again is Larry Brooks tripling. Houston Astrodome, Larry Huffman calling the action. The first AMA Supercross of 1988, and good action it is. There's a rider down. Could not get his number. It is Brooks in front, 17 Peterson in second spot. That was Frizz who went down. So it is Brooks in front and Peterson, the Canadian, in second spot. Tommy Watts is battling O'Mara for third. Larry Brooks, a serious rider, really good physical shape, but tends to get a little wild sometimes. He's crashed very hard before. Let's see if he can hold on to the lead here at the Houston Astrodome. Is not afraid of heights. That is a foregone conclusion. Look at this guy go for the air. There is Watts on the inside trying to go around Peterson, number 22 Watts, Peterson 17. Peterson says no. Peterson's a tough rider to pass. The riders don't like to pass riders like Peterson. He gets extremely physical. Number 17 Peterson in second, Watts in third, and number 19 O'Mara in fourth. Larry Brooks, his first major overseas race, the Japan Supercross in Kyoto in 1983. He's got a lot of experience on Supercross tracks. Number 14, Brooks. But look at... Oh, he's down! And Brooks goes down and down hard. And Peterson takes the lead. And O'Mara has gone to second. Brooks went down faster than an Idaho thermometer in January. He's trying to get the bike started again, the Kawasaki. So a whole new complexion on the race. O'Mara now is on Peterson. Peterson sponsored by Suzuki of Canada. O'Mara sponsored by U.S. Suzuki. Ross Rollerball Peterson finds himself in the lead. Look at O'Mara, still having knee problems, does not like the triple jumps, or more specifically, does not like the landings. O'Mara goes to the inside. Peterson shuts the door on him. Ross Rollerball Peterson, absolutely unafraid of anything on a Supercross track. This guy is physical. And now O'Mara has got to use those years of experience to get by Peterson. And he's got him. O'Mara goes by in the whoops where Peterson did not expect him. And Johnny O'Mara has taken the lead. Unbelievable. Johnny O'Mara, Southern California, born and raised, has taken over the lead. And Peterson wobbles again, and Watts goes by him. Peterson's head went around like the little girl in The Exorcist when O'Mara went by. Johnny O'Mara has taken the lead and is heading for the finish line here at Houston. Opening up a lead now. O'Mara, both knees have blown out on him. He's had numerous surgeries. 1 lap to go, the white flag. O'Mara has got it. He looks behind him, nothing behind him but air. He can coast to the victory now if he can just stay upright. O'Mara, a triathlete, he gives a high sign to one of the cameramen down in the field. And now he rides a bicycle to train. He can't run anymore. His knees are in too bad shape. But O'Mara, the final lap. There's Tommy Watts moving up. Second spot now for Watts. Not a bad run at all for Tommy Watts. The checkered flag comes out, and Johnny O'Mara takes home the bacon. Tommy Watts in second, and Ross Rollerball Peterson third. And O'Mara continues the trend of the night of the veterans. Glover winning the first heat, O'Mara winning the second. Let's go down to victory circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for a former 125 national champ, Supercross champ? It's good to have him back in the winner's circle. The Osho, Johnny O'Mara. John, you got some fans here in Houston. They'd love to see you put that Suzuki in the winner's circle tonight.
Yeah, I sure have a lot of people out there, pulling for me. I think a lot of people know I've struggled in the last year and so, and I've had some injuries, but I'm really going to put them behind me and really try to do good this year and win for Suzuki and just win for myself. And just like to thank all my fans that have been behind me. From my switch to Honda to Suzuki and with some of my knee problems and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to start winning this year. Thanks, everyone.
Nice ride, Johnny O'Mara. Coming up, heat number 3 from the Houston Astrodome. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Houston Astrodome and heat number 3, and this could be a good one. Ricky Johnson, who's never before won here at Houston, lining up against Mickey Diamond, his old Honda teammate. George Holland, first time on a Honda after switching from Suzuki. And here we go, down that front straightaway. Is it Johnson? Is it Diamond? No! It is number 3, George Holland. And on the outside, oh, look out! That is Diamond down. Mickey Diamond goes down, and down hard. He will start dead last. It is George Holland in front, Ricky Johnson going to second. And on the outside, that's Jeff Hicks, privateer on a Honda. George Holland, number 3 from Kerman, California, Northern California, switching to Honda. He was second 2 years in a row in the 125 class on a Suzuki, and Honda says, see what you can do on a Supercross bike. So George Holland in front, number 3. That's number 2, Ricky Johnson in second. Number 20, Jeff Hicks in third, all on Hondas. Then number 39, Jason Upshaw. Upshaw is one of the most spectacular crashes in Supercross. He is featured in the Moto Video Crash and Burn Spectacular. Here is Johnson putting the pressure on Holland and taking the lead. And Ricky Johnson goes out in front early in this third heat. George Holland running in second spot. And Mickey Diamond trying to move up way back in the pack. But it is Ricky Johnson in front. Johnson, factory Honda. He is the richest rider, the highest paid rider in Supercross, some of the magazines claim. Over $1 million a year. Look at Johnson. He gives the high side to the crowd, the thumbs up side to the crowd. He is a crowd pleaser. When he gets out in front, he will start showboating and playing with the crowd. We've seen him do this at the Superbowl of Motocross, seen him doing it at New Jersey at Meadowlands Stadium. He loves to play to the crowd. Born-again Christian, a very serious young rider. Ricky Johnson. George Holland, number 3, is keeping Johnson in sight. But you got to wonder what team strategy, what part that will play. He doesn't want to take a chance on taking his teammate out. So Johnson over the big jump. There he goes. Number 2 out in front. Go back to 1987, the Super Bowl of Motocross, LA Coliseum. Johnson started in 17th place, fought his way up past Guy Cooper to the win. And the people at Los Angeles will never forget that show. He is the Bob Hurricane Hanna of the 80s. Ricky Johnson, number 2. But we can't emphasize enough, he has never yet won here at Houston. Is tonight going to be the night? There's Holland in second, and look at the gap between second and third. The flash bulbs go off. They love Ricky Johnson here in Houston. Over the doubles and triples, the guy is absolutely fearless. Ricky Johnson, number 2 in front. Now he is pulling away from George Holland, and Holland is pulling away from the rest of the pack. They could stop and have dinner and still finish first and second in this race. Johnson showboating just a little bit, and the crowd loves it. He says, I get bored. I get out in front, nothing to do. I might as well wave to the crowd. And when you're waving to the crowd from 30 feet in the air, it is just unbelievable to see. Johnson with his own line of clothing, 2-hip clothing. Also rides for Life's a Beach, surfwear. He's an avid surfer. He's got the coordination to surf, to motorcycle, to ride a Supercross bike, to ride off-road. Incredibly good physical condition, Johnson. Front wheel comes up in the air. He flat tracks a little bit around the start line area. Houston Astrodome, Larry Huffman calling the action for you. And Ricky Johnson is doing what he does best, leading here in heat number 3, lapping slower riders. Whoa! Again, he turns to the crowd, gives him the high side. He is 30 feet in the air. One miscalculation, he'll find himself in the cheap seats. And Johnson loves to showboat. Very, very serious about his racing. There's Holland way back there in the back. You got to use a long telephoto lens to see him in second, and he's only in second. Here's your leader, Ricky Johnson, in front, heat number 3. He's going to have to take on Ward in the main event. And again, Johnson's not won here at Houston. Don't ask me why. He has never won here at the Houston Astrodome. Holding on to the lead, looking at different lines, checking out the track. He is in complete control. No problems at all. You very seldom see Johnson, make a mistake. He crosses up and turns to the crowd and gives them the high sign on that one. And the 45,000 plus fans here at Houston are getting their money's worth. Ricky Johnson calls himself Bad Boy. Ricky Bad Boy Johnson. And what a lifestyle he's got. A millionaire before he's even 25 years old. Look at the crowd, wave him on. They do love this young lad here at Houston. Heading for the checkered flag now, the waning moments of this heat number 3. Johnson in the lead, Holland way back in second spot, and Mickey Diamond has fought his way up to third. If Diamond ever learns to get good starts, he's going to be a heck of a factor in Supercross. Through the tunnel. Through the whoops, Johnson having no problems whatsoever. Bad Boy on his leathers, on the seat of his pants. Ricky Bad Boy Johnson, checkered flag, he takes it, crosses up, gives the high side of the crowd. So Ricky Johnson absolutely dominates after having a little bit of a battle in the first few laps with Holland. Absolutely dominates this heat 3. Ricky Johnson takes the victory. George Holland Honda second, and Mickey Diamond, spectacular ride. Diamond going all the way from dead last to finish third. Let's go down to victory circle and Ricky Johnson.
I gotta say, son, when I see you the way you're looking, that everything is running in your favor, and you just got it wound up tight.
Yeah, I feel really good. Like you say, I've never won in Houston, and I'm getting tired of hearing that, so I want to hear next year. Well, Rick, you're the defending champion here, so can you do it again? No, I feel good tonight. We've done a lot of work with the bike. Dave Arnold, Roger DeCoster, and all the guys from Honda have done an excellent job. My mechanic, Brian Lunnis, he always does a great job.
Rick, you're loose.
Yeah, I feel really loose. I did a little cross-up, a little show for the people because, hey, this is a qualifier. I got out in front, so people pay good money to come watch a race, and if there's not a race, you might as well give them a show, so that's what I tried to do.
Good luck to you in the main, partner. We need more of that.
Thanks again. I'll thank you all for coming out. Take care.
So Ricky Johnson proves he can dominate a race, and even though he gets way out in front, he gives the fans their money's worth. Coming up, heat number 4, Jeff Ward, Ron Lechien, Jeff Leask, and a lot of other riders. It's a wild race. Don't go away. We'll be right back to the Houston Astrodome. Welcome back to the Houston Astrodome and heat number 4. I'm Larry Huffman calling the action. 250cc Supercross, and there's number 1, Jeff Ward, in the middle of that front of that row. And there's a start. And it is Wardy. Whoa! Ward goes out in front. Jeff Leask, number 7, is second. And Ward's teammate, Ron Lechien, is third, number 4. Whoa! Leask almost goes over on his back through those whoops. Jeff Ward in front, probably the best conditioned rider in Supercross today. Can half squat over 425 pounds. Massive thighs, only about 5'7". Now Lechien goes into second. Leask into third. It is Wardy in front and his teammate Lechien, Mutt, and Jeff of Supercross. Wardy about 5'7", Lechien about 6'1", a big muscular kid out of El Cajon, California. It is Wardy in front over the jump. Heat number 4. Not a whole lot of real tough competition in this race. Lechien, Leask, about the only other tough ones in this heat. Heat number 4. First 4 go to the main event to take on Ricky Johnson and Brock Glover and Johnny O'Mara. Going to be a great main event. Jeff Ward recently did his own video, home video, Jeff Ward's Winning Ways. It's available now at a motorcycle dealer near you. Now Ward starts to pull away from Lechien. Lechien knows he's already got a ticket to the main event. He doesn't want to take a chance on taking Ward out, so he's going to probably sit in second unless somebody puts the pressure on him. Jeff Leask in third. The Honda rider, Leask, switching from Yamaha to Honda this year. He's the Australian national champion. Jeff Ward came to this country when he was just a mere infant from Scotland. His father, Jack Ward, rode motorcycles in Scotland. Wardy started riding mini bikes at about age 5 and was a national champion by age 12. He's only in his mid-20s now, and he's been racing for about 20 years. I don't think anybody else can make that claim. Jeff Ward drives a turbo Porsche and enjoys the rewards of racing, of being a full-on factory superstar, and he is indeed, make no mistake about that, one of the nicest guys in racing. Opening up the lead, triple jumping, no problems at all. Lechien in second. Oh, Leask goes a little bit higher than both of them. But here's Ward. Ward seldom makes a mistake. He had a tough year last year. He carries the number 1 plate, but it was a tough way to go. Johnson was knocked unconscious at the first race of the year at Anaheim. Wardy won it. And then Wardy crashed at San Diego, had a screw put in his ankle, and the whole year he fought injuries. And Johnson stayed on him all year long, off and on. Johnson crashed at the Pontiac Silverdome and broke a finger and dislocated another finger, and that was just about it, but he kept the pressure on Ward all year long. So Wardy won, but he was injured, and this is the first time that these riders have come back, Ward and Johnson, and are not injured, and also Glover. It's going to be a good main event. Jeff Ward dominating this Heat 4 here in the Houston Astrodome. Second place, Ron Lechien, a guy who's had more ups and downs in his career than an elevator operator. Ron Lechien also involved in home video and motocross, pro motocross riding and racing with Ron Lechien and Team Kawasaki. Available now on home video at your local motorcycle dealer. Jeff Ward, look at the back of his leathers. It says attack, and that's what he's trying to do. Goes out in front and stays out in front, looking good in this heat number 4. Lechien in second, staying behind him, shadowing Ward, but not pressuring him. And that's a smart move on Ron Lechien's part. It's Lechien's last year of his Kawasaki contract. He wants to do well this year, but doesn't want to do anything stupid. Wardy now having a little bit of fun, bringing the front wheel up in the air. KX250, good bike, real fast bike. Lechien staying in second spot, not pressuring, not putting any kind of pressure at all on Ward. Look at Ward right through those whoops. Boy, you get your money's worth right there, watching him maneuver that KX250 through the whoops. He makes it look so easy. Jeff Ward, a 4-time Astrodome Supercross champion. He's virtually unbeatable here in Texas. But he's going to have a battle with Johnson in the main. As we said, both are healthy and both are anxious to win this race. Johnson's never won it before. Setting the stage for the main event. Wardy making no mistakes, just as smooth as a mayonnaise sandwich. This guy, look at him go over the jump. Gives a high sign to the flag man. He's got 1 lap to go. White flag out. Wardy doesn't like to showboat that much. He's not a showboater like Johnson. Well, there he is. I've proven me wrong. He turns to the crowd, gives him the high side, and the crowd responds. From the height of a 3-story building, Wardy turns, looks at the crowd, gives him the thumbs up sign, and he's having fun. Jeff Ward, very popular here in Houston. Lachine in second spot, keeping a respectable distance back. But it is Wardy's race all the way in the final lap here. Over the jumps, lapping another rider in midair. They say those triples are dangerous. A lot of times you can't see the down ramp from the 3rd jump. You don't know who's there. Hopefully nobody. Jeff Ward heading for the checkered flag. Lachine is second. And Jeff Lease, the Australian champion on a Honda now, is running in 3rd, but quite a ways back. Not a factor at all in this race. Wardy heading for the Champagne Glory and Gold in heat number 4. Heads through the tunnel. The finish line right ahead. Let's see what he does over the finish line jump, if anything. And there it is. Woo! Gets a little crazy, sticks both feet out of the air. He's having fun. Gives a high sign to his mechanic, so Jeff Ward takes home the checkered flag. Lachine is second, number 4, and Jeffrey Lease, Australian red hair and freckles, Australian champion, finishes 3rd. Let's go down to Victory Circle in the interview with a very happy Jeff Ward.
Wardy, coming off that jump, taking both feet off the pegs. Have you ever thought about what would happen if you didn't get your feet back on the pegs?
No, I've never had it happen. I've seen other riders have it happen, but so far it's been okay with me. It wasn't too crazy, but for me it probably was.
I tell you what, you'd be talking high soprano for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a nice jump though, smooth landing, so there's no problem there.
This is your racetrack. You own the city of Houston and the Astrodome when it comes to Supercross. Rick Johnson says he's going to interrupt that string.
Well, of course he's got to say that. You know, if he didn't, he wouldn't be as hard a competitor as he is. So when you're on top, everybody wants you, and I'm just planning on being there to give him a battle for it.
Okay, we've got to look back in the pack just a little ways. We've got you and Rick Johnson, and I think right now most of the crowd would hand the title out here tonight to one of you two. But we've got to look back because there's a couple other riders that most certainly could throw a ringer into that.
Yeah, Ronnie's riding really well. Like you saw, he stuck right with me. I made a couple mistakes, which he closed in on me. But it's a 20-lap main event. That's only 8 laps out there, and I can go that way to the finish. I just, everybody else better hope they can too.
Coming up next, something you've never seen before. The motorcycle Sphere of Fear with Monty Perlin. You got to see it to believe it. Plus, the main event from the Houston Astrodome. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Houston Astrodome and the AMA Supercross, the inaugural race of 1988. And we go now to a completely different type of competition or type of exhibition. This is Monty Perlin. He's a motorcycle stunt rider from California, and this is the motorcycle Sphere of Fear. It's a giant metal globe that Perlin and his partner will ride around inside. Monty Perlin, a motorcycle stunt rider from Southern California, got this idea several years ago. Now, actually, this stunt has been done since the early 1920s. It's been called the Globe of Death, the Sphere of Death, and Monty calls it the motorcycle Sphere of Fear. He is riding a street-legal motorcycle, no knobbies, because knobbies would not work. They would catch in the grating of this sphere. Monty Perlin kind of showing what he can do with this machine inside the Sphere of Fear. You ain't seen nothing yet, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. It's on a little trailer. It breaks down. The complete sphere breaks down and goes on the back of a flatbed truck to be transported to the next event. There it is. There's the motorcycle Sphere of Fear. You can see Monty Perlin right in the middle of it. And there he goes, riding around the equator. Hand in the middle. Now he'll start up and down in figure eights. Completely upside down. Look at this. Monty Perlin, the motorcycle Sphere of Fear. There he is, waving to the crowd, taking the accolades of the crowd. And now he brings in his partner. Now this is when it gets a little more dangerous because they will be inches apart going up and down. One will be going around the equator and one will be going from the North Pole to the South Pole. Here comes his partner. The road manager closes it up. Got to make sure this thing is bolted together securely when you've got two motorcycles running around inside. If a bolt comes loose, it's all over. They give each other the handshake. Monty is a born-again Christian. I would venture to say he better be doing a stunt like this. And here they go, around the equator. Getting the speed up. One going around South America, one going around Panama. And here we go. Now, the figure eights. They've got it. The timing has got to be just incredible because literally they are inches apart inside this globe. And look at this. One around the equator, one from the North Pole to the South Pole. Watching, and I've asked him, I said, have you had crashes? He says, yes, we do. And it ain't fun. Monty Perlin and the motorcycle Sphere of Fear. And if you thought that was incredible, wait until you see this, because this is Monty's beautiful wife, Pamela, and she is going to walk into the Sphere of Fear with a pair of flags in her hand, and the riders are going to take the flags out of her hands as they ride around her just inches from her. Monty Perlin, motorcycle Sphere of Fear, and his wife, Pamela. Now, they met on a movie set in California. Monty was working as a stuntman on a movie, and she was working with the catering company, and they met and fell in love. There we go. Pamela Perlin, Monty Perlin, his partner, and the motorcycle Sphere of Fear finale. Rocking the bikes back and forth to get the speed up. She is holding two flags, one a Christian flag, the other an American flag, and they're going to take those flags out of her hand while speeding around her at speeds of up to 60 miles an hour. Watch this. Unbelievable coordination between these two riders. It has to be, because one mistake, one miscalculation, and they will crash and land on her. Look at this. Look at this. Around they go, and they will take the flags out of her hands. She holds them in the middle. The sphere, I don't think that's her knees, although I would not blame her if they were. I think that's the sphere vibrating with the two bikes going around inside. Taking the flags out of her hand while speeding around her. Unbelievable. Monty Perlin, his wife, Pamela. They come back down to the bottom, and that's it. Pamela walks out of the Sphere of Fear. Let's go down to our announcer on the field and an interview with Monty Perlin.
Monty, that has to be one of the most frightening things I've ever seen. From just a viewer, it was very, very pleasurable. It was tremendous. There are no words to describe it. It was great.
2 words, Jesus Christ.
He had to have been in there with you.
He's the power we depend on.
Congratulations to all of you. We're so happy that everything came through with no problems. And I know that we're going to see you again in future Supercross events and hopefully right back here in Houston next year.
That was truly amazing, and we'll be right back with the main event from the Houston Astrodome in just a moment. We're back at the Houston Astrodome on the race that everybody's been waiting for, the showdown between Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson. And here's the main, and it is Wardy. Jeff Ward on the factory Kawasaki taking the lead. Holland, number 3, goes in front and drives to the outside. Riders down. Jeff Hicks, Jeff Leask, and Ray Somo tangled there in the back of the pack along with about 4 or 5 other riders, but it is Jeff Ward out in front. And this is what the crowd has seen for the past 4 years here at Houston. Wardy getting out in front and never stopped. Holland running in second spot, number 3. Let's check as they come up. That is number 6, Mickey Diamond in third, and Ricky Johnson, number 2 and fourth. So Wardy, the main event here at Houston, has taken the whole shot and is out in front. It's a very tight technical track, not a lot of long straightaways, not like the Anaheim track, and Wardy excels in this type of a track. Holland, number 3 and third. Diamond, now Johnson in fourth. But the eyes of Texas are on Jeff Ward out in front. Ward wobbles a little bit, coming off the jump, over the triple jump, styles it a little bit, sets up for the turn. Johnson gets more height than Wardy, but Johnson at this point is in fourth. Wardy holding off Holland. Diamond in third spot, and Johnson unaccustomed in fourth spot and not making a move yet. Through the whoops, it is still Jeff Ward in control. The question everybody's wondering, when will Johnson turn on? Ward looks around, looks back at him, and Johnson is still sitting in fourth spot and not pushing Diamond. Mickey Diamond, two-time 125 national champion on Honda, signed with Yamaha this year. He is running currently in third spot. There's Diamond, number 6, the black and white distinctive leathers. Ward with 20 years racing experience. Started out when he was 5 years old. He is tough to fluster. Whoa, a problem there. Lachine, number 4, Ward's teammate, stalled in the tunnel and comes back in mid-pack. So right off Lachine, he is not going to be a factor in this race unless he can really put on a charge. It is Wardy in front. Holland second, Diamond third, and Johnson now. Johnson trying to go for third. Nope, Diamond holds on to him. Diamond almost slides down. Diamond a little bit wobbly. First time out on the Yamaha. Now Johnson putting the pressure on Diamond, but it is Wardy in front, riding over the whoops, keeping the front wheel just skimming over the whoops. Riding with the precision of a true professional. This guy is good. Jeff Ward, one of the highest paid riders in Supercross, national champion 2 times in Supercross. George Holland holding on to second spot. That's a strong showing for Holland. His first ride on an AMA Supercross on the factory Honda. There's Holland. There's Wardy in front. Diamond running in third spot. Johnson in fourth. And Johnson now starting to put the pressure on Diamond. There's Ward in front. Number 1 on the green Kawasaki. Holland in second spot. And here comes Johnson. Johnson makes the move into third. He goes in front of Diamond. So Ricky Johnson running third. There's Johnson right in front of number 6, Mickey Diamond. So, Ward in front. Big lead. Look at Jeff's lead. In second spot, George Holland. In third, Johnson. Remember now that Wardy is using something that none of the other riders except Lachine have. A one-way radio from team manager Roy Turner sitting up in the press box. And he is feeding both Ward and Lachine on different channels information on who's behind him. First time it's been used in an AMA Supercross race. The question is how long until it's outlawed by the AMA. Second spot, Holland number 3, and Johnson now number 2 and third. But it is Wardy's race at this point. In the main event here at the Houston Astrodome, Jeff Ward holding on to the lead. Look at the lead between first and second. Where is Holland? There comes Holland. No, Johnson is taking second. Johnson slips by Holland as they go into the tunnel and goes into second. So now, it is the race the fans paid their money to see. Jeff Ward in front and Ricky Johnson second. Look at the crowd standing. Wardy knows that Johnson is in second by virtue of the one-way radio, the communication with his team manager. Ricky Johnson, a replay of the Superbowl of Motocross in LA. Only there he started in 17th last year and finished first. He started in 4th in this race. He's in second spot now, and now is putting the pressure on young Jeff Ward in first. Wardy in front, Johnson in second. That's where the fans' attention is focused between these two riders. There's Johnson going for the air. Notice no showboating by Johnson. He is dead serious. He's not out in front. That's where he wants to be, and he is going after Wardy. Classic confrontation. Here's a battle for third. Number 3, Holland. Number 6, Diamond. They are battling for third. But the crowd is watching this rider and the rider right behind him, Jeff Ward. There's Wardy through the tunnel. Rockets out of the other side of the tunnel, looking smooth. There comes Johnson into the tunnel. That gives you an idea of how far ahead Wardy is from Johnson. The main event here at Houston. Wardy in front. He has not lost here in 4 years. Johnson has never won, and that gnaws at Johnson. He wants to win here at Houston. It infuriates Johnson not to be in the lead. and he will start pulling up on Ward, and then Ward, as if by magic, starts to pull away. A very tough, tight, short technical track. No long straightaways. It's a very difficult track here at Houston. Designed by John Savitsky, Stadium Dirt Designs. He's done an excellent job. Johnson methodically trying to pick up a foot here and a foot there, gaining on Wardy. And Wardy is riding Mr. Cool. This guy is absolutely incredible under pressure. There's Johnson now getting on the same straightaway with Ward and starting to reel in Wardy. You got to wonder if Houston might not have something against Ricky Johnson. He's not one here. Now, they go into traffic. Lapping number 17, and that puts another lapped rider between Johnson and Ward. And lap riders could definitely be a difference as Johnson goes around number 17. That's Ross Rollerball Peterson out of Canada. Wardy in front, Johnson in second spot. Back in the pack. It's back a ways. That's the lap rider, number 17, Peterson. The battle for third is still between Holland and Diamond. But the crowd is watching these two. And look at now, Johnson's starting to reel him in. But again, and the white flag is out. Again, remember, Ward is getting signals from his team manager, Roy Turner, from the press box. He knows exactly where Johnson is, and that's a major factor in this race. The white flag lap. Johnson trying to reel in Wardy. Now, Johnson pulling out all the stops. Wardy heading for the checkered flag. Johnson hoping, praying for a mistake. Look at the pitman signal Wardy. His mechanic signal him, go for it. Keep your cool, keep your head. Another lap rider between them. Johnson number 2 in second spot. Here's Wardy through the whoops. Whoa, that is poetry in motion, ladies and gentlemen. Wardy over the jumps. Notice, no waving to the crowd. He wants to hold on the lead because Johnson wants to take it away from him. They are heading for the checkered flag here at the Houston Astrodome. The first AMA Supercross of 1988. And Wardy has just about got this one, and Johnson won't give up. Wardy lapping Holland. Incredible. Holland falling way back. And here's the finish. Wardy holding on, looks behind him, and Johnson comes up, heading for the checkered flag. He's got it, kicks his foot out, and takes it, and he's happy. So the final, the main event. Jeff Ward takes home the bacon. Ricky Johnson is second. Mickey Diamond on the Yamaha third. Ron Lachine is fourth. Eric Kehoe is fifth.
Jeff Ward, the king of Houston Supercross for 4 consecutive years. Thanks for joining us on this first in a series of programs documenting the history of Supercross during 1988. We'd like to invite you back next time to see Jeff Ward and Rick Johnson go face-to-face on 2 wheels.